I had a bit of a reputation back in the past. When I was young, I was wild. I had a lot of troubles. I was mentally troubled as a person. I had a lot of traumas. My troubled path followed me, you know.
Yeah.
I generated that kind of energy towards me because I was living, and I had lived a certain particular lifestyle.
Yeah.
That, you know, wasn't the best of lifestyles. I'm gonna be very frank. A lot of people had a fear for me. There was a lot of fear for me because I've done quite a few things I'm not proud of. They had a vendetta for me, and certain police had a vendetta for me, you know. And so they set up my life twice in prison, twice in jail. They set my life up. Warders have found dynamite over there, like literally dynamite. You know, dynamite used to blow walls up.
Yeah.
You find dynamite. The warders have found dynamite in there. They found like cutlasses in there. Like it's called Slaughterhouse for a reason. It's a mad block. It's a block where people, it's a freestyle block, but it's a block where people, they lose their life from there very quick.
Yeah.
Wrong things, you die quick. Man, Jamaican prison is crazy, bro. It's just not normal. It's not the normal place, you know. Like I said, they need to revamp it because Jamaica's a lovely country and Jamaicans are lovely people, but the prison system in Jamaica needs some serious work. You know, I've done things in prison I'm not happy about or proud of, but I had to survive. Do you get me? It was mad. So that, for me, my first thing was I need a weapon. But that morning, I was shit scared, I'll be real, because I thought this dude's got friends in the block and I'm dead. As bad as a man can be, because you can be a top killer, but if I catch you in prison and you're in my cell or with my friends or my block, or I've got more friends, then what can you do? Do you get me? Like, But then again, I advise a man, don't go to prison. You get what I'm saying to you? Be real, don't go to prison. No, there's nothing good about prison.
Today we have another Jamaican prison story, very hard hitting. I'm sure a lot of you guys enjoyed hearing the story from Tug of War and you know how he detailed the conditions, very animated speaker, jumping out of his seat. So, shout out to Andrew Pritchard. He recommended that I check out Stephen Graham's book. It is extremely well written, absolutely takes you in there from the very beginning, what it's like in the Jamaican prison, taking a piss, having a number two, the enemies you make, how they watch you, if you're wearing anything, if you've got any money on you, they detect that, they try and get it off you, the threats to his life, the stabbings, and on and on and on and on it goes. I urge people to read this book. We'll put the link in the description box below the video. You'll find it on Amazon. And it's very highly reviewed as well. Huge thank you to Andrew Pritchard for recommending Stephen. We will have Andrew Pritchard's links in the description box as well. He's on a mission to help young people, so we urge you guys to go down there and support Andrew's work, which Stephen is a part of. And we're going to get to the social mission at the end of the story today. But to begin with then, Stephen, we're going to talk about your second arrest, where you go in to the jail and then the prison. It was a attempted murder beef, was it?
Yeah, it was actually murder. I was actually murdered. I got charged to attempt. It got dropped to attempt to murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were at the same time as Tug of War?
Yeah. Tug was actually in prison when I was in prison, because I was in prison from 98 2006. But he was in a different section. He was in a section called South Block. South Block is over. It's like a little piece of the prison to itself in Spanish Town Prison. So it's like over there you find more foreigners. But I wasn't taken to South Block. I was actually taken to Remand Block, which is known as GB3 and GB4, Gibraltar. But they took me to Gibraltar for specific reasons, because, to be frank, they wanted to kill me, technically. It was a plot against my life, so they took me to Gibraltar 3 and 4, because they never took foreigners around the back before.
Wow.
No foreigner locates around the back.
Wow.
So that's what they done to me. But that boils back down to problems I had as a youth growing up in Jamaica, a lot of violence I got myself into. When I got locked up, before they took me on remand to Spanish Town Prison for the murder, when I was in St. Anne, I was in different stations, and that's in the stations I had a lot of problems before I went to prison. Like a lot of fights. A lot of problems.
Take us through then the day of your arrest for the murder.
Yeah, the day of the arrest was technically I got away from the scene, and for some reason, I ended up back there. Well, technically it was my passport. I lost my passport. I left my passport. I went back for it. Didn't need to, but it's like something just had me to go back for it. I went back, and I got in altercation with the police. Police had shot after me. My little son sadly saw all that happen. Yeah, the police shot after me. I ran to a house. They caught me, handcuffed me. The local community smashed the hell out of me because they wouldn't at first. They wouldn't attack me. It's only because when the police had in handcuffs, not in a boastful way, but I had a bit of a reputation back in the past. And then I got locked up. And then the first day being locked up in jail, which is when I say jail, I mean police station, they call it jail in Jamaica. It was, from there it just went manic because, like I said, I had a lot of people had respect for me in regards to, what should I say, fear, because of my youthful days growing up in Jamaica. But at the same time, it was a situation where when I was in jail, I had a lot of problems with police because in the past,
just gonna show them the picture of you. I would be scared.
In the past, it was the police literally. I had problems with a few police officers because my name was called up on a few situations in St. Anne's, and I'd also had altercation with a policeman's family, and they threatened to kill me. So I had a lot of things going on as a youth. I was young, I was wild, I had a lot of troubles. I was mentally troubled as a person. I had a lot of traumas, So not understand how to deal with my emotions. I just carried out a lot of actions that I didn't need because, of course, I was from England, but had to leave England because I was too violent as well as a little boy. I left England at the age of 15 because got done for a robbery charge, and so I had to be out of this country. My mum wouldn't want me here, so
the day of the murder, then the day they captured you, the local people beat you up, and then the cops, did they grab you and throw you in the car?
Yeah, well, the people didn't beat me until the cops had me in handcuffs.
Yeah,
so they had me in handcuffs, and the people got their own on me. And the cops threw me in the car, took me to the station. On the station, everything just went mad from there.
So what was it like going into the station? They got a fingerprint you, strip search you?
Yeah, they searched me, fingerprints. Police told me that now we have, you get fucked. And I was technically like, we got you, you get me. So they had me for something. Now they finally had a chance to get me because I had a lot of, like I said, a history with them. So I'm in the station now, locked up. The food I won't say was bad in the station because the person's cooking it. I know the person was getting proper food, but what it was the police. They had a vendetta for me, and certain police had a vendetta for me, and so they set up my life twice in prison, twice in jail. They set my life up. The first time set my life up, it was a guy. They took me out my cell and put me next to the guy's cell, but when they put me in the guy's cell, it was for them to technically set my life for them to kill me. But the guys were afraid of me still, so it was kind of scared of me. So they were hesitating. I could say that something was right because the way they was looking at me, they was acting.
How many guys were in the cell?
There's roughly about 5 to 7 of us in the cell.
5 to 7?
Yeah, but...
So you and the rest are enemies?
Well, there's about 4 people in that cell wanted to do something with me and wanted to war with me, but...
Did they have weapons or anything?
Yeah. One of the guys had like a prison-made, a jail-made shank. You get me? Made from... But he cut me in my chest still. Yeah, but because he wasn't really serious, if he was more serious, he could have done some lethal damage.
All right, slow down a bit then. Let's lead up to the moment where he cut you. So you're in the cell, and these guys, like, you're noticing, like, they're looking at you, the corner of their eyes.
They were moving boomy. They were moving, when I say boomy, they're moving wild. You get me? I could tell, like, there was, like, people, they got this kind of look at me, they're looking away, they look at each other. I could tell something wasn't right. You get me? Some of the other few would, and those who weren't really involved, they were trying to looking down, like they don't want to know part of it. You get me?
So are you thinking I need to be sat in a certain way to defend myself?
Nah, it was a situation where I didn't even sit. It was more like me, the way I positioned myself from when I saw the word acting, I kind of positioned myself where I had my back against the grill in it. So
against the grill?
Yeah, towards the grill.
What's the grill?
The grill's like the bars. The cell bars.
It's like the old school iron bars.
Yeah, because Jamaican prisons don't have Jamaican jails and even prison don't have electric doors like over here in it.
Yeah.
They got grills. That means all grill doors.
Right.
So so that was my situation. So then when they did rush into me.
They all rushed you at once?
Yeah, well, 3 of them did out of 4.
3 of them did? So did you notice them start to move like they were going to jump up?
Yeah, the first one kind of got up, kind of bait, so I knew in it.
Were they whispering to each other or anything?
Nah, they weren't whispering, just bare looks.
Yeah.
But you could tell someone, they're moving boomy. So from that, I was already kind of alerted anyway, so
take us through it then, blow by blow. 3 jump up?
Yeah, 3 jump up.
What do you do?
Correctly, the first one, we just started fighting in it.
Yeah.
And then the other one, he cut me in my chest. But he didn't really, to be honest with you, it was a weak attack because he didn't really have the heart to come at me how he should have come at me. because
How did he access you while you were fighting the other one?
because I'm there, I'm even fighting. I hit him once, and that's it. But I'm saying the way he could have done, if he was real serious, he could have stabbed me up in it. He could have stabbed my neck.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying to you? But
Yeah.
he didn't. So he gave me too much time. Because once I touched that one, I look back at him. That's a little idiot cut you give me. Like,
So you knocked the first one out?
Didn't even knock him out. Just hit him.
Just hit him?
Just hit him. Didn't even knock him out. I'm even gonna lie. So I knock him out.
Yeah.
I hit him. I turned to them, but they were hesitant. They were too hesitant.
Yeah.
There was no serious. It's not like the second time where you actually stabbed me in my back. He didn't itch. You get me? The second time when they attempted my life, he literally wanted to kill me.
How many days was it between the first attempt and the second?
Nah, there was a little distance still. There was a little maybe a couple of weeks or so.
All right, let's go over all that time first then. So let's go back to this first attempt.
Yeah.
You just not punched one of them. The other ones give you a stab in the chest.
Yeah, cut in my chest, yeah.
In the chest.
Yeah.
What do you do next?
Nothing, we just start fighting. But when I say I start fighting,
You're just throwing blows?
Yeah. Then that's when the police come and stopped it.
Okay, so the guards come in and stop it.
Yeah.
Police station, yeah.
Yeah,
and where do they move you to next?
Nowhere. They just moved you. Nothing really come out of it.
Yeah.
They just moved you out of the station, that's it. That's what they do. They do it all the time. You see, one thing about Jamaican prison, the Jamaican jailhouse, even prison, especially jailhouse and prison, they have a tendency of setting up inmates.
Right.
It's nothing new. I've lost quite a few friends to prison in Jamaica.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Like I've lost 2 friends to prison. My friend Al Capone was killed in prison.
Right.
In jail. The police, in his handcuffs, they put him on the block and let everybody stab him up because he's very strong. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So they made everyone stab him up on the block.
Yeah.
And my other friend, Chuku, they killed him as well.
Wow.
They killed him in prison.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, they killed him in jail. The police did it. They had a tendency of killing certain people because if they have a fear for you, you know, they feel like you're going to get too much problem, they can kill you and get rid of you.
How did he get the name Al Capone?
Al Capone, my mate, he's Jamaican from Canada. He live in Canada and he did a lot of murders. So
yeah. So were you clicked up with like a Rasta gang? Were you a Rasta yourself?
Yeah, back in those days, back in those I grew my dreadlocks because I was trying to avoid the streets.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to run away from the streets and I wanted to, you know, try to remove myself from certain lifestyles I was living before.
So you would classify yourself as a Rasta back then?
Yeah, I would classify myself as a Rasta back then. Still.
Yeah.
I did try to walk the road and try to be more peaceful in my life.
Yeah.
But they say trouble follows you, innit? And
yeah.
I would say my trouble path followed me, you know?
Yeah.
I generated that kind of energy towards me because I was living and I had lived a certain particular lifestyle.
Yeah.
That, you know, it wasn't the best of lifestyles. But at the same time it was who I was mentally in myself. Do you get me? Mentally I wasn't in the right place. And I'd been through a lot as a young person.
Yeah.
You know, because I always people don't judge me for the things I've done. It's more look at what I went through, why I became the person I became, you know?
Yeah, we're going to get to that. All right, so you get moved out of that jail where the first attempt has been had. Where do they move you to?
No, not jail. Move out to that police station, same station.
Same station.
I just moved to a different cell.
Move to a different cell.
Yeah.
You go in there, and is it equally moody, or are people looking at you, or is it
No.
chilled out?
A lot of people had a fear for me. I'm going to be very frank. A lot of people had a fear for me. There was a lot of fear for me because I've done quite a few things I'm not proud of.
Yeah,
There's a lot of fear for me at the same time. You get me? There's a lot of fear for me because of the things I've done as you growing up in there, especially as being an English youth, coming to Jamaica. And I was living in St. Anne's, but I used to go to town a lot. I used to bring a lot of friends from Kingston to St. Anne's. And I'd be in town and they'd hear stories about the things I was doing when I was in Kingston, Spanish Town.
Yeah.
You know, because like I said, I did a lot of things on the streets with specific people that, you know, I'm not always proud of the things I've done, but it's where I was mentally back then. You get what I'm saying? So
the people you were connected with, who you were working with, did they have a network of people in the system who looked out for you? You're telling me like you got enemies, but have you also got allies?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of allies. But that all came when I was in prison.
Okay.
The allies thing, the allies came big time.
Because the jail's a madhouse, isn't it?
The jails in St. Anne's. Yeah, the jails in St. Anne's is different. I didn't have much. I didn't have all enemies in jail neither. Like I said, there's people in the jail that knew me and rated me, but it was prison where that's when I brought all my people, all my comrades.
So in the jail then, in this new cell, you're okay in this new cell. They're a bit in fear of you.
Majority of times I was okay in there. It's just like sometimes police had wanted to kill me. You know, to be honest, it's just like, so when the second time they did it to me was when there was 2 other people arguing. They were arguing themselves. Some next one people. And I used to be like trying to keep the peace because in jail, everyone look at entertainment. So people would tell a man you can't sleep on the floor or you can't sleep on the piece of wooden bunk. You got to sleep on the grill.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Like to sleep on the grill. So technically you're standing up with your feet on the grill and your hands on the grill, you're standing up on the grill. So technically you're actually standing up like this. And you got to sleep like this or hug on to the grill and stand up sleeping. Like it's literally impossible. You're gonna be up there all night tired, or you're gonna, and if you do get to sleep and you fall off, they're gonna stab you up.
Yeah.
So people did silly things for entertainment. But I wasn't really a kind of person that condoned that kind of craziness.
Yeah.
So me and people get into arguments. So, you know, the second time it happened, situation where I didn't like what people was doing, some youths and one excelling it. So I was telling them, yo, you lot stop the argument, innit? And then I was just telling people to go out, calm myself down. But that time I didn't know the youth who they took out of that cell, and I thought they bring him into, they bring him to my cell. I thought that's a piece, innit? Like, but it wasn't. It was actually for me.
Yeah.
You get me? So when you come my cell, I'm still there at the front of the grill arguing with these other guys and saying, you lot this way, and I mean, calm myself down. Next minute, I feel like my back just feel warm, straight. You stabbed me with a big rusty piece of a long prison made, like it's like an ice pick, but it's not an ice pick, it's thick.
Yeah.
It's thick. So in my back here, where you push it right here.
Holy shit, man, yeah.
So you put it right here in my back.
Big old scar, yeah.
You get me? So
yeah.
That's you put my back there, and then I turned on it because it was kind of rusty still, it wasn't really sharp. Thank God. It went in, but it didn't really go in. Like it didn't like mess me over in it. So I could fight in it, and plus my adrenaline's running in it. So I punch him up, and the warders come in. They took me to the hospital. I got an injection. If I remember correctly, I got an injection in my bum. But then my back was oozing. Days later, it was oozing like green, yellowy, gooey bullshit. I don't even know what it was. It just
got
oozing.
infected, did it?
Yeah. I got infected. I got injection again. I got 2 more injections. I got one in my arm and one in my bum again. And then, so, you know, but I just thank God, most important thing, it didn't paralyze me.
Yeah.
You get me? It didn't really hit the spine or nothing. It hit the side, because it did. We wouldn't be here talking. That happened. Yeah, that happened. And then I had other altercations with other youths in there where me and some youths kicked off. You know, I had a couple youths where because sometimes we used to sharpen my toothbrush. Because the police weren't bringing in no weapons to me, because me and I had that link with them. Like I said, certain people fame, but they didn't want to give me no weapon because they knew I was like, remember, I'm just in here I've just taken a man's life.
Yeah. And
the way that everyone heard it was done, it made people, you get me, and people already knew from my past life, I had stabbed up quite a few people up there already.
Yeah.
So they knew what I was like when they had put a weapon in my hand, you know? Because I had cut up quite a few people as a youth growing up in that era, you know, which I talk about in my book. You know, there's a lot of things I can't talk about. You get what I'm saying to you? Of course, yeah. So what I have spoken of, they knew what my ability was when I get upset. You get what I'm saying to you? And so I had to use a toothbrush. So I had my toothbrush in it. So I sharpened my toothbrush for days. So I did, you know, me and you kick off one time and I used him for Mumby. I stabbed him up in his chest. You get what I'm saying? I stabbed him up in his chest. I stabbed him in his chest. And that was over madness happening there. There's other little stabbings that took place.
What was the madness that it was over?
Again, we were just arguing because they were saying to be some big top boys family and say that because they're drugsmen and they're money makers and like that didn't really faze me, because that doesn't faze me, because a person can have all the money you want in war. It's not about money, it's about technique. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Tactics runs war, not your money.
Yeah.
I'm not saying money don't play a role in it. You get what I'm saying to you? But money don't run war, man. In Jamaica, it's not always the richest man is the most baddest man. That makes sense. I mean, that's anywhere in the world. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? If I'm willing to do something, I'm willing to do something. That's the bottom line. It's not about, and like me, I'm not glamorizing road life at all, but I'm just saying if a person sets his mind to do something, whether you got money or not, it's irrelevant. Yeah, you can buy whatever you need or do whatever you can or hire the help you need to, but depends on that individual. He can give you mayhem. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, we had a guy on here called John Abbott. He said, nobody's tough. Get a big piece of meat, grab a butcher's knife and just stab that meat. That's how tough anybody is.
That's it's true. It's true. Like there's no one's great, no one's bad than nobody.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's about determination, and people know I'm a very determined guy. I've got a good heart. I'm a good guy. You know what I mean? I don't want to make myself sound like I'm just, but I have had a very troubled past. So I did things that I wasn't really proud of. Now I'm more mature in my mindset. Yeah. But you know, that back in the days, I wasn't a person that could walk over. I was never a walkover to nobody. Whether in England, Jamaica, America, I wasn't that walkover. So wherever I went, people couldn't just walk over me.
Yeah.
So so for that situation, I'm there, and it's like I was going through my little situation job, but it's when prison is when things really just was crazy, because like I said, the police had it out for me from in jail, and they took away my money, everything. So when I went to prison, I had nothing going to prison with. So I just knew I was going to go through a lot of struggle. So because we used to have a writ where we put our money in, you write your money in a prison book. So they lied us, I signed my money out and everything. So I went prison without no money. When I was remanded to go prison, no longer run my time in the jailhouses in St. Anne's, I went to prison.
Before we get to the prison, can I ask you a few more questions about the jailhouse?
Yeah.
So in the jailhouse, then, how long were you in it for?
Man, about 4 months, I think. About 4 months. I did remand in jail because I was at Runner Base Police Station. I went to Brownstown. I went to St. Anne's. I went to Oldshire. I went back to Runner Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 months then. And what was it like going to court? What's the procedure?
Man, Jamaica's a kangaroo court.
Yeah.
It's a kangaroo court. Like, it's just corrupt. It's corrupt. It's mad corrupt. The procedure's a joke. When you go from jail, you get to put in a bullpen, and not just you, everybody. They call it a holding cell.
You're all shackled up and everything.
Yeah, just your handcuffs, but everyone gets put in a bullpen. But the thing is, when you get in the bullpen, they take your handcuffs off, so everybody's in a bullpen with no one's handcuffed.
Fighting.
So, yeah. So
Gladiator thing.
It gets peaky if you're idiot. It gets peaky for you.
Yeah.
You get me? Because
it just spread then once it breaks out.
Yeah, because it's like, because you think about it, you got like four different jails, different police stations go into the courthouse that day.
Yeah.
And you got different prisoners. So once you get there and you go in the bullpen, that's it.
Did you see it pop off in the bullpen?
Yeah, pop off quite a few times. I punch up man in that as well, bro. But it's, like I said, it's not glamorizing what I've done. I just thank God I'm alive today.
Yeah.
It gets mad. It gets mad. I've seen people get really hurt in there.
Yeah.
Really, really hurt.
How does it get stopped? Do the guards come running in?
Well, because what is it? The bullpen, like I said, is like everything in Jamaica is grills, isn't it? It's just grill gates. It's grill gates. So the guards can see everything anyway. So as you start fighting, they just open the gate and come in.
Yeah.
There's not even guards, it's police in it.
Have they got spray or batons, guns?
Nah, they got batons.
Yeah.
They won't bring the guns in the station.
Yeah.
Even though as time goes on, police did threaten to come in at one time for us with guns.
Yeah.
But yeah, because that's as further things goes on, things happen in jail, like escapes happen in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Attempted escapes happen in jail. But we'll go into that as
how was the judge and prosecutor with you?
The judge, at the end, in the beginning part, I hardly ever saw the judge because when I say hardly ever saw the judge, my lawyer was a kangaroo lawyer. He was out to get money.
Yeah.
He was just robbing my family money blind. He wasn't really doing his job. He was just making money. He made a lot of money from my family and myself without actually really doing what he needed to do.
Yeah.
Now I had a QC, which was Queen's Counsel, and I had a next lawyer, and they were just robbing my family money blind. They weren't doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics was going on because I went down to Jamaica and I wasn't staying with the people I knew to be staying with. I wasn't being around the family I was supposed to be with. I was with some new people. So I kind of rocked the boat a bit in my life. You know what I'm saying? So I made my own errors still.
So you never saw the judge?
I saw the judge, but it was nothing. There's nothing the judge, because the judge asked me, would I plead guilty?
Yeah.
And I said to him, no, I didn't, because I wasn't going to plead guilty to murder because I knew at the beginning it was more than one of them against me. Yeah. And from the statements that they made against me, it didn't add up. And the judge, my lawyer was trying to get me to plead guilty. As the problem, lawyer trying to get me to plead guilty and tell me to plead guilty, and we will say you're mentally not healthy enough to plead. And then we'll ask the commission, I think it's Governor Ledge, which is, because Britain still rules Jamaica, innit? Even though Jamaica's independent, Britain still rules Jamaica. You got someone called Governor Ledge. He said, we'll get you, after about 3 or 4 years in your prison murder sentence, we'll get you compassionate leave on mental health. I was like, are you nuts? I go to him, are you mad? Why am I going to plead crazy? Like I'm mentally, like I killed the guy and I'm mentally insane when I killed him for me to go murder, and then you're going to try and plead that. I said to him, are you nuts? I go, if that don't work, like you're trying to get me to lie, and if that don't work, I'm effed. I'm going to be in there for the rest of my life. Because Jamaica don't give leeway sentences. When they give murder sentences, it's proper murder. People are doing 300 years in Jamaica prison. I'm like, are you nuts? I said to him, nah, bro, I'm not pleading. I go, nah, I'm not pleading guilty. So I've technically fought my own case. I fought my own case. It took a couple of years, but I technically fought my own case. Shit. Yeah.
So when you got moved to the prison, you had to go to like get law books and stuff.
Nah. It's just based on the transcripts.
Okay.
Like the transcripts alone, because the people said, not to go too much into it, but the people said that I stabbed the guy in his back, which was there's no stabbing at all in his back. You get what I'm saying? To be honest, he didn't get stabbed in his back. He got stabbed in his neck and his heart. But they said he got stabbed in his back. They said different things. Everyone's testimony was different. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they knew I did it, but the testimonies were all against me.
Yeah.
Well, not against me, but they were against each other. They weren't saying the right thing. So it's clearly there was some misunderstanding, or should I say there's a direct lie in regards to what was really going on.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So there's no way I was going to plead like murder, because I knew there was more to the situation. There's a history.
Yeah.
You know, some tragedies with certain, not with that individual per se. I'm not gonna lie, say him per se, but the people he's with, there was a history.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes when you have problems with some people, you know, especially in Jamaica, if anyone has how Jamaica works, especially the streets, you know, Jamaicans can be very butt wild when it comes to badness. The youths, especially in Kingston and them places. And some people don't let things go so easy. Do you get me? So there was a history with our situation. And that's where, like I said, I left Jamaica as a youth when I was about 19 because I had to leave the country. That's how I ended up coming back to England. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And then I went back out there and a situation happened.
So in the jail then, could you just describe what it was like to sleep and eat and go to the toilet?
In jail, you got a piss bucket. There's just a bucket. It's in jail, it's not unlike prison. In prison, you got a bottle you're pissing. But in jail, you got a bucket. It's a massive bucket that everyone pisses in. You technically, to do number 2, you have to go, they have to open the warders open you, the police officers, because it's jail. The police will open you and take you to the, you have to go they got this kind of toilet area, but it's not a real toilet, you can't sit on it. You got to squat over it. That's in jail. And then your sleeping condition is like wood slabs. So they got like one wood slab on the side, next wood slab this side, next wood slab. So like 3 wooden slabs. And everyone else sits on the floor.
Did you get a skinny mattress or a sheet or anything?
Nah. In jail you don't get that.
Nothing.
In jail you don't get that. In jail you don't get that. Nah. Prison's worse. Yeah. But in jail you don't get that. No. In jail just free in the jailhouse in St. Anne's, it's just slabs, like Savannah-based police station. Just 3 slabs on the wall, and then the rest, everyone else sleeps on the floor.
How hot is it in there?
Summertime, it gets crazy hot. Crazy hot. But then again, you got man who, if you're really hot, you make man spill propeller. You know, propeller, in Jamaica, we call it propeller. But technically, if you're in prison and you're the idiot in the cell, like say, you know, people don't respect you in the cell, they think you're nobody, we make you spin propeller. So what you do is technically, you do this. You take off your top, like this, and then you go, yeah, Sean. Go on, Sean, get cold. That's what you got to do. You got to do it all day. Yeah, it's called propeller.
Yeah,
it's like a plane propeller, innit?
Yeah.
So, but you got to do it all day.
Wow.
All day for everybody.
Wow.
And if you stop and man said you can't, don't tell you can stop, you can get beaten bad.
Yeah.
Might even get stabbed.
Yeah.
I think get serious in there. But you see, I wasn't really down for the abusing people. That wasn't really my mindset. I wasn't really like a kind of bully person, but it's what happens all the time to a lot of inmates. A lot of inmates. You know, so in my cell, I used to tell people, don't do those kind of things. Like, honestly, I can say it openly and no one could ever say I'm lying what I'm saying. I tell people, don't do that. I don't like it. You know, I don't like people abusing, but they did that a lot in Jamaica prison. Make people swim propeller, you know, tell people to give them their money, you know, make a man clean up your mess if you urine and it spills over the bucket, tell a man to clean up. You know, it's not, it's like, all those kind of things they did. There was it can mentally destroy you. Yeah. You know, a lot of people go in Jamaica prisons might like, even in prison, like, it's a jailhouse, and literally come out crazy. Yeah. Because it can be mentally tormenting, like torture you. If you're not strong or you're not willing to die for your life, like die for your rights, you literally will go crazy in that place.
You got to stand up for yourself right away.
And the thing is, a lot of people are scared to because, you know, like my finger, look, can you see my finger here? You see, look at that. Yeah. Is that mark there? Yeah. That's me defending knives. Like when people come at you with knives, you have to fight. Wow. Is that what you two things? You either you fight or you're gonna get taken as a bitch. Yeah. Like, it's the reality of life, isn't it? Yeah. You get what I'm saying to you?
So in America, you have to go and watch a video about not getting raped. It's called the rape class. Yeah. Does that kind of stuff going out there?
In Jamaica prison?
Yeah.
Rape?
Yeah.
We can get to that because that's happened in prison. You remember the same guy who cut me my chest?
Yeah.
He went to prison, and because when we first went to prison, the funny thing about it, let's leave jail, let's go to prison. Okay. As you mentioned that. Funny thing about it, that same guy cut my chest, yeah? He went to, when I was first in prison, I thought maybe they might have friends in that because we ended up in Spanish Town prison, same place where tug of war was. And we went to a remand block. He's a Jamaican. I was in a remand block. So I'm thinking, shit, I'll be real honest with you. That time my heart's beating. Because I'm like, the first day I went in there, even time, I got nothing. A man gives me a plastic bottle, so I got a piss, and I'm like, oh, fucking no. Like, the big bucket was one thing, but now I've got a piss in a bottle. I'm like, oh, this is madness. Because I've never been in prison. So I've done jail more, I've done stations many times, but I've never been in prison. I'm like, all right, bottle. So man gives me a bottle. I get put in that amok, what they call sky high. I'm like, this is nuts, insane. Like, so I'm in there, I'm thinking to myself, this guy I got beef with. Because the other guy who I poked up in jail, none of them went to prison. You know, they got off or whatever happened with them. Or they weren't in the prison, but they weren't up. But this same guy who cut my chest, he went up prison with me in the same truck. I'm thinking,
Same
oh
truck,
shit.
same truck.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's got his friends there. I'll be real with you. I'm thinking he's got his friends there. I'm dead tomorrow morning. Because I'm thinking, nah, I'm gonna die. Because you get what I'm saying to you, but I'm like, I'm gonna go out dying, but I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be honest. I was scared, but I was willing to die. You get me? I was willing to fight. I'm not gonna be no one's girl. You get me? Because that's in prison. That's what they call it. You're your next man's girl. You get me? So I'm there, and then the man turns around. The morning he has no friends. Put it that way. But that same morning, I see someone get cut. I see the first month someone get their belly cut out. Bit of stabbings. I'm like, oh shit, I need a weapon.
You know what that was over?
Nah, we're just all. Oh yeah, I do know. It was is his because when you get your piss bottle, the prison's set in a way to get people crazy. You got over 200 something prisoners, upstairs and downstairs, remand block, Gibraltar 3 and 4. Downstairs is 3, Gibraltar 4 is upstairs. You got over 200 something prisoners. You got two pipes. One pipe at the back near the death row. Because the only thing is a wire mesh separates death row and my block. Got one pipe in the death row we bath. And next pipe is you come out the front of a man block. And that pipe where you can bath there, but you also wash your piss bottle. And then you've got this little basin to wash your dishes and your pots. Now, one basin, that beer man, one little basin. And that's got to serve 200 something inmates. And you've got to do, you got to do all that within 2 hours. You got about 1.5 hours open fly for almost 200 inmates. You know what psychology that does to you?
This is
in your head.
intense.
You've got to bathe, you've got to do all this. And if you're not strong enough, you ain't going to get to bathe. And then you get a chance to throw your piss bottle out, but you can throw it in the draining part. But washing it is the next thing, because a man might say to you, you can't wash your piss bottle now. You get me? Because he doesn't want you to use a pipe. And you can't wash your utensils out now. Because you only have plastic utensils, you can't wash that now. So this is where it gets intense, and it's always the fights. Somebody's piss must have jumped, someone's piss must fit somebody, and that was it. Instantly, it was just everyone's pulled out knives, everyone's going crazy.
Holy
You get me?
shit,
It's mad. It's get crazy in there. People stabbings happen ridiculous. Back in those days, 98, stabbing was going crazy. It was like everyone was getting stabbed up. It was mad. So that, for me, my first thing was I need a weapon. But that morning, I was shit scared. I'll be real, because I thought this dude's got friends in the block and I'm dead. But what happened is after a while, say after about 6-7 months, I realized that the block across, which is called Newhall, which is they call it a slaughterhouse. Slaughterhouse because a lot of people died there. It's known for killing. It's known for its rituals of killing people. And they killed quite a few of my friends in there, but the guys who actually run it were my friends already. I didn't know. So imagine I'm on my block. I didn't really leave my block because I don't know when it, and no one, in the right mind is going to be walking around a prison, going block to block, and you don't know no one. That's psychologically stupid. So I'm on my block, just chilling every day, training, exercising, prepared to fight, because I was fighting nearly every day because I had nothing to give them. Remember I told you I left jail with nothing. So if other people say you're a foreigner, you're broke, you got the money, you're this, you're that, you're whatless, making all rumors about me, say I stink and all this. But none of it was true. But the point is, no one wants to give you nothing either. So I'm fighting all the time. So I'm going from cell to cell to cell. I'm always fighting, constantly fighting. I ain't saying I'm winning my fights neither, but I'm fighting. You get me? But it's my constant fighting won me a lot of respect on my block. But it's after a period of time, I found out that my mates run the next block called Newhall, which like I say, it was a slaughterhouse. Things changed.
Your mates were running the slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
That's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, no. I got my knife. I got my things. And that same guy who cut my chest, when he found out who my mates were, and he found my cousin was over there, he cut. He ran to a block, because you mentioned about men getting raped. He ran to a block called Number 1, which is in English, in Jamaica, it's called, in Spanish terms, it's called a Batman block. The ship, Number 1, yeah, he ran over there. But not even man over there is homosexual. What happened is because a lot of murders happened in one time, there was 80 murders in a few months, a month period, when Prescott gave out a lot of condoms in prison. So a lot of murders took place. 80 murders happened within days, not even a month, within days.
Wow.
And then that block became known for men who, were sleeping with each other. So what happened is he ran over there to safety, because that's where we don't go. Normal prisoners don't go over there. So he ran over there. And for some reason, I don't know how it happened, but some guys raped him over there and fucked him. And he was in a diaper and he tried to kill himself. The same guy cut my chest.
He's in a diaper.
Yeah, he's in a diaper.
Incontinent.
Yeah, he was messy. He was messy. In hospital, when he came out, they put him back over there, and he tried to take his own life. So I'm not saying that that's just happened. You know what I'm saying? It happened So after that, because he tried to run from my friends and myself, and he went over there, and the guys had their way with him.
Holy shit!
So it was mentally disturbing for him because he tried to take his own life.
This is intense, man. Honestly, Stephen, you've come on here. I'm so gripped right now. I could just feel the pressure and the intensity.
Yeah, listen.
But finally, you've got to the slaughter block. Your mates are there. What is your daily routine then?
My daily routine changed. Prison life changed for me. Because
Yeah.
my daily routine became where like I go over the ship regular, check my friends, you know. But it was like no one really goes to ship. Because ship is a place where warders have found dynamite over there, like literally dynamite. You know, dynamite used to blow walls up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find dynamite. The warders have found dynamite in there. They found like cutlasses in there. Like it's called slaughterhouse for a reason. It's a mad block. It's a block where people, it's a freestyle block, but it's a block where people they lose their life when they're very quick.
Yeah.
Wrong things, you die quick. You know, and I was very connected in the slaughterhouse, so I felt things automatically changed me in prison. You know, so yeah, life was a bit different for me.
What floor were you on?
I wasn't living in the slaughterhouse. I was still in remand,
Okay.
but I had slaughterhouse was my backative, so that was
Yeah.
my support network. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I didn't really deal with people in remand. It's only when my friends came, one of my friends from Road came there, and I met this other guy named Papa. Me and him started to power in there, and I started dealing because I didn't really trust no one. I'm a person I don't trust you. I don't know if I don't trust you. Do you get me? So I wasn't really asking no one for nothing, taking off from nobody at first until I met a few other people that, you know, I felt, okay, this guy's kind of cool. Me and him started to click together. Then me and a few other people started clicking. And because I did boxing, I did martial arts, I've done Muay Thai for years. I've done Muay Thai before I went in prison. So when I was in prison, of course, I was training hard because you're in prison, innit? Like, shit. So me and a few guys started clicking. Me and this American guy called Moses, he's in there for murder. He's never coming out. He's a hitman from America. We started powering. And then me and some other yardies started powering. And then, so we had a like little click on the same Gibraltar. So I was like, I won their respect after a while because everyone saw me always fighting, staying to myself, not asking for nothing for no one. Don't get me wrong, people offered me like, hey, you'll use my phone to phone your family in England. You know, just give me a little something when you get your money. I was like, no, I don't want that from none of you. Because I didn't want to owe favors because I know what it's like if you owe favors in prison, a man might want something back from you. Do you get what I'm saying? And I wasn't looking to do no favor for nobody or get involved in anyone's prison politics. So I said to everybody, I don't want nothing from nobody. I hold my own. I hold my strugglers. I was waiting for British High Commission to come. And they had a thing called, because British High Commission used to give us money. Well, not British High Commission, a thing called Prisoners Abroad.
Yeah, they helped me.
Yeah, they're
good
amazing
people.
Yeah, Tottenham, not Tottenham, Finsbury Park.
Yes.
Amazing people, bro.
Please support Prisoners Abroad.
Prisoners Abroad, listen, anybody, I would tell everybody, Prisoners Abroad is one of the most amazing charities. When I was going through my struggles in prison and jail, they would come and give me money because, like I said, my family were hidden from me. I mean, my family in England, like, they didn't know what was going on. And then I was struggling. You know, God bless them. When they did find out, they helped me. I made sure I was good. But they didn't know what was going on. Prisoner Abroad was the only people I could depend on.
Yeah.
Because they were sending me money all the time. Every couple months, the British High Commission come, they gave me money from Prisoners Abroad. And that's how I kind of kept afloat.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so, yeah, so it was a bit crazy. It was, prison was just mad. There's so much stabbings happened in prison when I was there. It was just ridiculous. A couple guys lost their life on our block. You know,
what was that over?
Some boys that were arguing over some stupid things, man. Like, just, you're getting money, I'm not getting money. Like, I can say this, I can unsay this, and I say it openly. No one ever robbed me, took my money from me, or bad me up, because I wasn't having it. And I'm not saying I'm bad at anybody else. I just was not having it, because I'm just that kind of guy. I'm just very determined to stand up for myself. You know, and I believe what's to me, it's to me. You get me? But then again, at the same time, I carried myself different in prison as well. I had a certain persona about me as well, and I was very doing me. You get what I'm saying? And I tried to turn my life around again in prison, and I started reading the Bible a lot and everything else, and people started admiring that I was trying to be a better person. Even though I did get drawn out a few times, and you know, I'd done things in prison I'm not happy of, I'm happy about or proud of, but I had to survive. Do you get me? But these guys were arguing over some money situation, and before I know it, this little youth named Budgie got killed on the block. They stabbed him up, man. Yeah, they stabbed him up. They murdered him, and nothing came back out of it. There's a lot of murders happening in Jamaica prison because I know nothing comes out of it, because in Jamaica prison they have a motto. They say, we receive a body, not a prison, not a person. That's a Jamaica prison motto. We receive a body, not a person. Because now over here in America, you get a number, right? When you go to prison. In Jamaica, you get a number, you never get, you get a number when you first sign in, but they never give you a number. So technically, if your number is, I don't know, say, my name's Stephen Graham, SG452, whatever, but I never get that number. They don't call me that number, they call me AU, Versace Top. Or, no, if they respect you, they call you by your name. Like me, they had a lot of respect for me, so they call me by my name, they call me Hebrew, you know? But if they don't respect you, they don't call you by your name. You know, but I developed and created my respect as prison went on for me. But that's how prison was in Jamaica. It's such a violent place. Not really, really violent. In the prison itself, that's where you really see when you talk about people, like you talk about pissing the bottle. In Jamaica, when you're in prison itself, that's when you got piss in the bottle. You got shit in a plastic bag because there's nowhere to shit in your cell. Like there is no toilet facility. In Spanish Town GP prison, there's no toilet facility. So you're technically doing this. You gotta have strong legs, bro, believe me, because you're like this, over a plastic bag with live newspaper. But the worst thing about it though, is if a man don't like you, you can't shit. Now I've seen it happen to inmates where they're in a cell and a man says to them, like, no man can't tell me that I can't shit myself, like, I'm not having it. You know, in fact, I got a single cell when I was on remand after a while. Because I was that violent at times. People gave me my own cell. They thought this English youth, he's either crazy or he's insane. So I ended up getting a single cell. So I was in by myself on remand and I flipping loved it. I had my own cell for myself.
Best, isn't it, your single cell?
Listen, no one could bother me. I had myself. But Jamaica prison is not like that. Jamaica prison is either 1, 3, or 4 or 5 people in a cell because they won't let 2 people locate. You know, it's against Jamaica policy. But with me, when I see inmates, like I've seen an inmate cross on me, I say a man tell the inmate he can't shit, and I'm like, yo, let the boy shit. He's like, nah, he's not shitting my cell, and if you don't like it, I said, yo, see, watch in the morning, I'll fuck you up, and you get me, we're arguing, but he won't let you shit, and I've seen the youth, like he's there like this shaking, because you know, you got to think about it. If you're holding, say you want to go shit second fly, second fly is like 12 o'clock, first fly is morning, so like 9 to 8 till about 10, second fly is like 12 till 2. Then you got to hold this shit back from 2 o'clock right the way back to 8 in the morning. Now, if you think about it, that's enzymes in your body, right? And that's bubbling. That bubbles up in it. I've seen inmates like this shaking because they're sweating because they want to shit and they can't let it out because they shit. There's people gonna kill them. The other 2 guys in the cell will stab you up. So you can't shit because look, you can't go down no matter how bad you are. If I hate you, because I've seen bad man have to do it. No matter how bad you are, if you try to do this and you got your knife on you, and you got 2 guys standing in front of you, what are you gonna do? Because you're gonna shit and at the same time. Remember, in your cells, they might be cooking food, so you got a thing called hot plate. So you got 2 bricks, they hold it up. So a man's got a brick over your head and say, yo, if you shit, I'll kill you. And next man's got a weapon as well. You're effed. There's nothing you can do, bro.
Wow.
You get me? This is what happens in the cell. So a man will tell you can't shit. So if a man says you can't shit, you're there standing, you're just going to you have to hold it to the morning.
Can't even sleep, probably.
No, you can't. So I hear people crying, screaming. We got to shout warders because in Jamaica prison, like I said, there's no electric grills. It's like we got padlocks. So you hear start banging our padlocks. Water, 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 water. Inmate one shit, water, water. The inmate let him out. The warder let you out. If he feels to be nice, he let you out and then you go shit and we'll let you back in the cell.
Wow.
It gets crazy in Jamaica prison, bro.
That's crazy.
You get hunger strikes. When I first went to prison, before I started getting, people started respecting me, I did one of the most insane things in prison. As time went on, I broke a hunger strike, which that's not heard of. I openly said I'd done it, and I'm not boasting, I'd done it. I broke a hunger strike. In prison, usually, when the hunger strike happens, no one can eat. Like when I first went in prison, I had no money, like I said, I had nothing. I was suffering. And the orders came down, hunger strike. And that means sometimes if every prison hunger strike, sometimes it's just your prison on hunger strike, and sometimes it's just your block on hunger strike, for whatever. Because when we don't eat, it sends a message that, you know, we're not happy with our condition. So when I was in prison, I was doing hunger strike. I had to go for hunger strikes. And I was like, I'm used to fasting. When you want to health-wise, you know, you want to not eat today for health-wise. But when someone's telling you can't eat, that mentally fucks with your shit up. It mentally messes your head up. And I was told I couldn't eat. And I was like, what do you mean I can't eat today? I'm not getting no visa, I'm starving. This man said to me, no, guy I was located goes, bro, don't eat. It's a hunger strike. It's sent down from the top. I mean, top guys throughout the whole prisons, I say no one must eat because we're not happy with the conditions. So for 2 days, I didn't eat, no food, just spit water. My belly's like, go. Like Hollywood and Mike Tyson working inside of me. Brother can't do nothing about it. What can I do? Like, this is my early time of prison. I don't really know nobody. I didn't know even my friends on the next block, and even they part of the hunger strike because top people, it's all the way down. You know what I mean? But the sad thing about it is, when they do these things in prisons, it's not orchestrated properly because the guys who have money, they're not thinking about the ones who don't have money. So they're all right, they can eat their food, but we're the ones that's really the backbone of the hunger strike because we're starving. You get me? We're the ones that's fainting and, you get what I'm saying, feeling it hard. But I broke a hunger strike towards my end of my sentence. I broke a hunger strike one day. It was mad, like, because I built up a reputation in prison that people had a lot of respect for me at one time. I decided to myself, this ain't gonna happen no more. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna happen throughout the prison, but at this moment, at this time, something clicked in me, and I just went and took my plate. I walked and got food off the table, and everybody looked at me like, "Are you trying to get killed?" And then some other people looked at me like, "Say, what are you doing, blood?" And then everyone's hungry, just ran for their food. And then what made it funny was 2 top yardies from East Kingston put their plate up and went and got food as well. And that made everybody just kind of hammer down.
Yeah.
And some next guys looking and started smiling. So it was the first time I've ever done it. And it was the most craziest thing I've ever done. I'll be real with you. I'm not saying no bad man done it or nothing. I'm saying I done it. It was a crazy thing I'd done, but something clicked in me. It's like I just couldn't stand there seeing people suffer. And I did it, and it was a mad thing because could have caused my life. To be honest, I don't know if it was every prison hunger strike that day or not. But I know on my block we was hunger striking. My block was one of the main blocks. In that I was in GP prison because Tug of War, he was in Spanish Town. I was in both Spanish Town and GP. In fact, I went 3 prisons: Spanish Town, GP, and Horizon. Because I spent 8 years out there, innit?
Yeah.
So I was in different prisons.
So before the podcast started filming, we were talking about how it's structured with the gangs. I said about America. So in America, you got the white gang, Aryan Brotherhood, black gang, Mau Mau, Mexican Mafia, Mexican Nationals, Chicano gang members. So I just want to explain a bit of the terminology then for the viewers who are not familiar with perhaps some of the terminology you've used.
Yes.
So, all right. So could you explain then Rastas, Yardies, Shower Posse, how all that fits together?
Okay.
So you said you was a Rasta back then?
Yeah, I was a Rasta.
Does that mean the Yardies and the Rastas get along? How does it all work?
Remember, it depends because some Rastas there are some Rastas in part of certain different gangs as well, innit? In certain different cliques. Some Rastas are bad Rastas, innit?
So Rastas is a gang separate from Yardie gang.
But no,
can a Rasta be a Yardie?
Yeah, because Rasta's not really a gang, innit? Rasta's a righteous movement, innit?
Okay.
But I wasn't really. I'll be honest, I wasn't part of the. I was a part of the righteous movement, but I was still dabbling in the streets.
Yeah.
You get me? A real Rasta man's like dealing with peace and love and righteousness and justice and everything. But again, you have certain men who have dreadlocks, but they still dabble with the streets.
Yeah.
You get me? So
you weren't a Yardie.
I don't even like that. I don't really like to use the term Yardie because it sounds like this. Yardies known as Jamaicans who are on the streets and doing violent things are known as Yardies. That's what they call them Yardies, right?
Okay.
Now, so then people would classify myself as a Yardie.
Formally they classified you as a Yardie? People
would. Why does classify me as a Yardie?
Okay.
Certain Jamaicans classify me as a Yardie. But I wouldn't like to classify myself as a Yardie. Like, I don't even say I belong to a certain set of Jamaicans. And who I'm very close to, they are known as Yardies. But I don't like to say, because that whole term, Yardie term, is carries a stigma to it as well.
Yeah.
You get me? So it's something that I don't like to even put myself or even my people.
Because you've moved on from that lifestyle, just to make this clear. You've got an important social mission, which we're going to get to at the end of this podcast. We're not glamorizing any of this. So they would have classified you then, but that's something you don't want to be associated with.
Yeah. But I would definitely put Rasta at all in that. Rasta is a righteous movement out of Jamaica. It's a righteous movement.
Yeah.
There are people like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Dennis Brown. These people, what you call Rasta, man, they give righteousness. I was trying to do that path, but be honest with you, like I said, I was still dabbling in the streets. So that's down to myself. My negative actions, I would never like to paint onto a movement that's so positive. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Because you have many men who had dreadlocks, but they were just violent. They were into street life and they had their own traumas that they haven't dealt with. You know what I mean? Their undiagnosed traumas, things they've been through. Because you have to bear in mind, a lot of people, especially from the ghetto of Kingston and Spanish Town, and even in certain places, other parts of Jamaica, have had a very hard life. Some areas you come from, there's no opportunity for work. So some people don't just take the streets for the fun of it. Like, these are what I would like to make people understand. Like, there are some people in Jamaica where have killed multiple people. And I mean, numbers are crazy. I'm talking about not 5 or 10 people. I'm talking about 100 of people. 100 man. Some man will count that say they've killed 100 people. You understand? And these guys, I mean, if you there's a thing called True and Stories on YouTube. It talk about certain people. Some of my friends are in it. That people are in my book that I talk about. They're on this same podcast. And they've killed 100 people clean. It's nothing. You have some very serious killers in Jamaica still, but you have to bear in mind these people going for their traumas. I'm not making an excuse for the thing they've done. I'm just saying the traumas, like in America. You've been to America. Some people live in certain poverty areas, gangs and violence. That's a part of their life. It's not that they want to be. They've grown up with that in that systematic construct that's made them into a beast. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
And then it's kill or be killed with the rival gangsters. It's like some of them look at it as signing up to the military.
Yeah, technically.
You got to kill or be killed.
Technically.
We're not harming women or kids. We're killing each other. It's okay like that. Yeah.
Technically. And some people do go too far to actually do that, certain things to women and kids. But it's like I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to justify it or to say these guys are or anything they do is right. But sometimes we have to look at the bigger picture, why people do what they do, more than just looking at the person who's, he's killing someone and, how did he get to that state of mind? Where did he come from? And these are the kind of things that I do when I'm doing youth work. Like me and Andrew was talking about, young people, when we look at young people doing violence on the streets today, why are they carrying these knives and why are they doing these things? And we got to look at the bigger picture, the holistic picture and, get to the root of it. And the same thing with these, a lot of guys in Jamaica, some of us, even like myself growing up, I grew up in a rough, I had a very bad experience in youth growing up. And I just mimicked someone else's pattern, my stepfather's pattern. And that was when I started being violent from a young boy and from junior school. But no one actually dealt with my traumas from a youth, so it only spiraled out of more control and I became the person that I became and did the things I'd done. But there was always a part that even though I might hurt other people and I'll be seen as a perpetrator and that person's a victim, but there was a point in time where I was a victim too. It's just no one ever caught me at that time when I was a victim. So of course I've gone on now to just become, as someone says, a perpetrator. But if in reality, if you go to the deeper roots of it, I was a victim as well. Just someone never really looked at me as a youth when I was getting abused by my stepfather, beaten with I was a little boy, I was getting beaten with a golf boot. It's got the kind of studies on the bottom. I was getting booted with one of them on my bum.
Brutal.
Yeah. So I was getting abused as a little boy by my stepfather. Told I would never be nobody, telling me that it's better off being in prison, you're dead. These people even went to jail. So you're putting all this stuff in my head, psychologically, you're damaging me. So when you look at the things people go through, you get me?
All right, so I'm trying to figure out then, I'm trying to break down the inmate population. So you got your rasters, yardies, you got shower posse, you got your foreign prisoners.
You got loads of gangs.
How's it all structured? There's
no structure. That's the funny thing about Jamaica prison. There is no structure.
Yeah.
There's no structure. You could be doing 2 months in prison. Yeah. I'm doing life without parole. And next month doing life without parole, they throw you in my cell.
Yeah.
There's no category like over here.
But do you all click up together? Like does the yardies click up together and the rasters click up together and protect each other? Like in America, the whites, it's all the Aryan Brotherhood.
Yardies, the yardies depends on which gang you're from, innit? Because if you're from say you're a junglist, you might locate with be a jungle you with a minute. Man them who's close to certain junglers. If you're from TG, you might locate with a certain TG man. If you're from, Spanish Town. Like when I used to click up with certain man them who I was clicking up with, some of them from Spanish Town, some of them from St. Anne, and others from Kingston.
So it's by area.
Yeah, it can be by area, it can be by brotherhood, and like I know you from road, innit? So we have a certain connections. You get me? Or it could be someone I don't know you from road, but you have a good energy, and we just decide to take you in because we don't know how to abuse you.
Yeah.
You get me? So it was more, but a lot of it more is like if you come from my ends and my bits, we click together.
So yardies could be rivals if they're from different areas.
Yeah, of course they can be.
I got you.
Yeah. I mean, every man from a yardie was not friendship in prison. No.
It's not one big gang.
No.
It's just a terminology.
Yeah, it's a term. As I said, the way misuse terminology because they call a man yardie, but you can come from Tivoli. They say showers, but you come from Spanglers, which is Manchester Lane. Or you can come from East. And my family come from East, innit?
Yeah.
So you can come from East, or can come from Spanish Town, which is Clang's original home. Like one of my both best friends was our top Clang's man. But it depends. I mean, it's not. That's all. They're reclassified all as yardies to the government and authorities. But they're not just one people. It's not just one people. You have to kind of be away from the terminology that they use in the system, because a lot of these terminologies don't really do justice or actually explain what's really going on, the root problems.
Yeah. So Tug of War. If you've not seen the Tug of War podcast, we'll put the link in the description box. When he goes into the prison, he's told there's the foreign national shower and there's the local shower. And he's like, fuck it, I'm going to the local shower. He almost gets like, it looks like they're about to kill him, but then he stands up for himself and this guy comes out. He's trying to fight these guys. This guy comes out and he grabs him and he throws the guy. And it's the head of for that area, the head of the shower posse.
Oh, who, Vivian? Because when Tug of War was in jail, there was a few Tivoli guys. There's one main guy still on that block still.
Yeah.
Who did you say it was?
I can't remember the name, what he said it was.
Okay.
But my question for you is then, how strong is the shower posse in this system?
In the prison system?
Yeah, where you were housed.
In Spanish Town, you won't find much shower posse still.
You want to tell the viewers who the shower posse are?
Shower posse they're from Tivoli Gardens. Shower posse are originally from Tivoli Gardens. But shower posse is not really, you don't have much shower posse in Spanish Town prison still.
Okay.
Not many shower pussy in Spanish Town prison.
Yeah.
And not even in GP. It's not. You don't find much shower pussy inside the prison.
So who's got the most power out of all of the?
You see, it's not. See, it doesn't really go by Garrett. It doesn't really go by pussy like that in the prison system.
Yeah.
Because in Spanish Town prison at that time, where he was Tuggerwell was,
Yeah.
it would be Buckwheel. That's me just being honest. He's but R.I.P. Junior, is my brother, said he's dead. He's
Yeah.
from Dunkirk. He's from my mother's era.
Mhm.
See, him and a few other people were very powerful where
Mm.
Tuggerwell was located on South Block.
Yeah.
But then you had different blocks where you had different man had power. You get me? You had man who had power on certain blocks, other man had power on certain blocks. It's not really that's what I said, nothing ever black and white like that. There's nothing never black and white like that in prison. Like the reality of prison.
It's not like a clear shot call.
Nah, it's not a clear shot calling. You had different man had different powers. You get
Right.
me? On where he located in Salt Block, you would have people like Buckwheel, you'd have like people like Sexy Paul and certain other man still. See? You had Scrap Iron them Monday. But then out of grass where I was located, you had my people them still like Screw them and Damon and them and the Lord evil. You get me? You had different people had their different powers on their block. You get what I'm saying to you?
Who were the most powerful people you interacted with, and how did they live?
Yeah. I interacted with everybody, to be honest with you. I had a lot of
Yeah.
connections with all them top names I just mentioned.
Mm.
Like I had a lot of connections with all of them still.
Did they have a lot higher living standards than the other prisoners?
Yeah, in the sense that because some of them prisons had massive TVs now, so they could get what they want. You know, they had their food coming in from outdoors more often.
Mm.
You know, but no matter what material you have in prison, still there's no real. To me personally, there's no better real liberty. Yeah, you can make it easier by eating more things, but you're still locked up in it, no matter what.
Yeah, you
You get what I'm saying? So your
Yeah,
freedom is the most
yeah.
important thing. But yeah, certain man had certain lifestyle. Like yeah, if you enjoy prison life and you enjoy being in prison, which of course you got to deal with the reality you're there, innit? But
Yeah.
they had it pretty easy, and not easy, but they had it easier because they could eat certain food and you know they had certain favors and their money was always tall and you get what I'm saying to you. But
Yeah.
being in prison, just in prison, bro. Like to me, it's nothing to glamorize. Like I'd rather be on road and broke than be in prison because it's nothing for me. Prison's dead. It's a dead house. You know?
What about visits then? How flexible are visits? I mean, like South America, you can bring your family and
No,
conjugal visits, things like that.
No. You don't get that in Jamaica. You better know. That's not getting that in Jamaica. You look at them pictures on the wall and enjoy yourself.
Going on a date.
Yeah. There's no. You can get a thing called super visit,
Yeah.
but when you get super visit, warders are standing there inside the same room as you anyway, so you can't really do nothing.
Did you get any visits?
Yeah, I got visits. I got a lot of visits in prison.
Was it nice to get out and have a visit somewhere?
Nah, it's not out. You see, that's not. You don't go out to visit. When you get in Jamaica, in Spanish Town GP prison,
Yeah.
you don't get visits like that. Your visits are like in this crummy little ugly ass room. The glass between you is like a plastic, dirty, stinking glasses.
Between you and the visitor, there's
between
glass.
there's like
Yeah.
plastic glass. So you're just looking through this glass and you're talking this crappy phone.
That sucks.
You might as well shout to each other because the phone's
Yeah.
dirty and disgusting anyway. So yeah, and it's about 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You can't touch them neither, so it's 5 minutes.
And they got to wait for hours to get in and
Yeah, they got to
everything.
wait for hours. In Jamaica prison, you got to wait for hours to get in. They got to taste the food when they're giving you. They've got to get searched, frisked, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jamaica prison's not like normal prison. Because when I was in prison, but the good thing about Jamaica prison, well, I'll show you, it's good and bad. The corruption in Jamaica prison is amazing because that's how you get your stuff in, your contraband inside prison. You just pay a warder. You know, situations happen in prison where a man, I'll be very frank, a man will give a warder money, yeah, and say, yeah, here's this amount of thousands, here's this for yourself, go get me 12 ratchets and come back. 3-star ratchets. 3-star is like a ratchet we use in Jamaica to stab people.
Weapons.
And yeah, the warder would go out, get the weapons and bring back in you. And knowing you're going to stab up some people, but at the same time, his money's low. You get me? They bring your knives in, they bring your food in, they bring different things in for you. You get me? Warders, you can pay warders to bring your things in. I'm being frank and honest. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's the way.
What's the most dangerous weapons in there?
Gun. A warder got shot in 2005. That's why I got moved out of GP. I was in Spanish Town, I went to GP. Warder got shot in GP because of the prison escape. Yeah, a warder got shot. My brain, they killed my friend. My friend shot a warder, and then the warder shot him back. And yeah, they found guns before. I was in Spanish Town as well, but nothing came out of it. They found guns. They found dynamite in prison.
So this was an attempted escape that went wrong.
Yeah. Attempted escape went wrong. A warder got shot. A warder got killed. A prisoner got shot and killed, and 2 prisoners got killed.
So those guys who were trying to escape then, How far did they get before it went wrong?
To the front of the prison.
To the front,
Yeah.
using weapons,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
using
did they
guns.
grab
Firearms.
staff members or something?
Yeah, firearms. Yeah.
Were they shooting people or were they just
They shot the warders.
shot?
They shot water, like shot
Yeah,
water,
yeah.
shot water. They created a whole prison madness. That's when I got kicked out of that prison
Yeah.
and was taken to High Rising prison.
Wow.
And then
What was that like?
High Rising was a mad little place, but I wasn't there long because they said certain yardies wanted to kill certain foreigners. But the people that said they wanted to kill certain foreigners were people who were very close to me. So
And you were classified as a foreigner.
I was classified as nobody.
As nobody.
I say that because I was a foreigner,
Yeah.
but I was never treated like a foreigner. Like I
Yeah.
said, in the beginning, they tried to set me up and put me with all the yardies. They didn't put me in the South Block where like most of the foreigners, the white and black foreigners go. They didn't put me over there. They put me in the back with the yardies. They put me, even when I went jail, they didn't stick me in a cell with the foreign inmates when I was on remand, going back and forth my prison sentence before I got sentenced. They was constantly putting me everywhere with the Jamaicans. But I had a lot of respect with the Jamaicans. It wasn't an issue for me still.
Yeah.
You know, so because even in jail we did escape happened and I was there, and in jail they cut the grill. Someone cut the grill. The grill in the police station, Ultra Riots, they cut the grill to escape because that court appearance, it was a very shitty court appearance. Like everyone was angry. They cut the grill, and then someone informed on the inmates. Someone informed on the inmates and said that they're trying to escape, and so we were sent back to prison. But yeah, I've been around a few times when escapes have tried to happen. When I was in GP, they blew the wall up. Literally blew a wall up.
Blew the wall up.
The wall towards Raytown, they blew up. There's about 8 of us at the standing pipe. I was just there having a shower.
Yeah.
I always seem to be there. I'm not a part of it though. Just there. But I was there, and this is why I got these marks on my shoulder.
Holy
these
shit.
marks on my shoulder. Because the bomb, when the wall blew, the person whoever did it didn't put the dynamite in the wall properly. Because the sentry box was over there in it. But I heard that the sentry box warder was to, turn the blind eye because he was paid. They were supposed to plant the dynamite, didn't do it properly. So when the wall blew, the inside of it, because the wall was very thick, the wall blew and our side was massive, but to see outside was about this big. So it's about a baby could fit through. You get me? Maybe my head could fit through it, but it wasn't big enough for all to go, so we could see the main road. But then everyone started making bare noise and water started coming, so I just cut because I didn't want to be nowhere near. I didn't want to be caught up or told that I'm a part of an attempted, escape from prison.
Yeah.
So I just left the scene. Do you get me? But it was a mad one. Jamaican prison is crazy, bro. Like things happen there. You know what I'm saying? Things happen there.
Let me just clarify this thing because I think we've jumped a bit. So you were fighting your case still, and you'd hooked up with your support network with the guys in the slaughterhouse.
Yep. That was in my first year of me fighting for my remand time. From jail. I did 3 years and a half, almost 4 years on remand, but in prison.
3.5 years before you got your case resolved.
I wasn't pleading guilty.
Wow.
My lawyer just kept taking money from my family. I wasn't pleading guilty.
Yeah.
And he was trying to press me to plead guilty. And I was like, no way, I'm fighting this. So I wouldn't. And then one day, I said to him, listen, look at my thing properly. And that's when they sentenced me to murder, and then they moved me to GP, General Penitentiary.
Yeah.
And that's where the warder got shot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right then. So, how many different prisons were you in, or areas of prisons were you in?
I was in Spanish Town prison.
Yeah.
I'm from jail, so Spanish Town prison first.
How long in Spanish Town?
About 3.5, 4 years.
3.5, 4 years.
Yeah, that's why I was right on my remand on Gibraltar, GB 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Then I got sentenced. I get going back and forth to St. Anne's because I'm on circuit court. It's called circuit. So circuit court, when you keep going to court every 3 months, 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And that's when the exempted jailhouse break took place.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just there and it happened. And then what's the name? Then I went from when I got sentenced in 2001. I was sent to GP. Yeah, I was sent to GP, and GP. I spent about 4.5 years in General Penitentiary. That's in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the warder got shot and killed, and my mate got killed, we all got moved, and we went to I went to High Rising from there.
Right.
High Rising. And from high rise, I went back to Spanish Town prison. But this time they located me where Tug War located on the South Block.
Right.
And that time me, Buckwheel, Rat from Homestead, and enough top man was on that block. Enough top man, because it's an English block. We look at house foreigners, but it's a very calm block in the Jamaica prison. It's not an idiot block. Don't get it wrong. It's not an idiot block, because some serious killers on that block. I mean, some dangerous guys. But it was but it's like a different prison to itself. So it has its own little rules. It's you have to see it. It's locked away from the whole prison. You get me? It's like having a house and a small little maid quarters. That's what it's like. Cause a maid quarters on one house. So you're not part of the main house. You're living in a maid quarters. It's just it's separate. Do you get what I'm saying? It's got its prison to itself. So then they set me there when I left High Rising. I spent a little time there, and then I got the best luck in the world. They took me to open prison for the last 5 months of my sentence.
Wow.
Yeah, they took me to open prison called Tambourine Farm. And then that's where a lot of inmates, that prison, like, it's an idiot prison, really. And I say that, I mean, prison's prison. No one wants to be away from woman and family. But when I say idiot, it's not as violent as the other prisons. But then a lot of yardies who go there, they started to abuse the English. So I started to take a lot of English people's money from them and look after their money. You know, because, like I said, a lot of respect in prison. So I used to carry, even in GP, I used to take a lot of people's money and hold it for them as English who get money from prisons abroad. I weren't getting visits because they were there for drug trafficking, you know, people using for drug trafficking. So I would take their money and I would look after their money, hold it for them so they didn't get robbed. Because I built up a reputation for myself in prison, you know, both for defending myself and at the same time, I had kind of changed the way I was thinking about life. And I realized that I was always an angry person. Like, I was a lovely guy, but I was angry. And I realized that when I changed myself from being such an angry, I can say kind of bitter, as a youth growing up for all my things that I went through, when I changed the way I've dealt with life and dealt with people also changed the way they dealt with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think what I mean is saying this, because people are watching. I want people to understand that for anybody, if you change your energy, your persona, the way you deal with things and people, despite what you're going through, people will change the way they deal with you too. Do you get me? Like, having that self-confidence in yourself, I had to change the way I saw life, because I used to see life very dark and angry and bitter, and, you know, I carry a lot of feelings for things that happened to me in my past and my traumas that I went through. But when I learned to deal with myself and deal with my anger and stop being so angry and stop not trusting everybody and stop being, you know, let down my guard, just live, I realized that I had a much nicer energy, more pleasant energy. People wanted to be more around me, and, you know, and I learned, I won a lot of prison over, because when I was in prison, I was hanging around with, I had friends from different eras that on normal prison I couldn't do. And I'm not boasting, I literally done that. When I was in prison, I had people who were, like you mentioned, from Tivoli. I had one of them, there's a guy from Zion Train, one of the most known Jamaican from the Sharp Posse. He was a good friend of my family's, and me and him were close in prison. Indian, also from prison. But yeah, I was very close to Spanglers and people from Southside, and my family from East Kingston don't like Southside, but I was cool with a lot of people. Because the way I changed my energy and I started doing certain different things in prison, people started seeing me different. So I believe that in life on a whole, if you change the way you actually see yourself and you deal with people will see you different as well. Do you get me?
Whatever energy you put out,
you'll get it back, man.
It comes back.
Yes, yeah, technically, it's that situation. That's what I learned as a youth, well, as a man in prison, that I had to change. That's why I come out of prison now. I'm doing much better for myself.
And you said, you touched on it earlier. So a lot of that anger then from when you were young, was that like pent up because of how your stepdad treated you?
Yeah, it was pent up. I mean, I was from 8 years old. I was seeing a psychiatrist at the age of 8. I didn't know it was a psychiatrist because I'm at school. I'm at 8 years old. I see a woman talking about, you know, behaviors and everything else. But I was never a bad person at home with my mum. So there was nothing to him to say, bring social service in. But I was always fighting. I was angry. My stepfather used to beat me, and I never used to tell nobody why I was doing what I was doing. I kept all that secret. Do you get me? Like, my stepfather beat me, and I never told my mum or nobody. So no one really knew what was wrong with me. So I would just keep quiet. Sometimes sit down, slap my thumb, and don't tell nobody what's going on with me. They were like, he's acting weird, but, you know, no one understands. So I carried that anger in me. So I kind of mimicked his actions. So, like they say, a theory is a theory until it becomes a fact. But with me, it became a fact because that same theory where they talk about when you're the abused becomes an abuser, I became the abuser. I started to abuse people. I started to hit kids at school or just do silly things, even on the streets, and I could get away with it. I said, I didn't do it, and then I'll get away with small things till it became bigger things. And then, you know, I started to mimic certain real crazy stuff at the age of 11. I was on the streets with my mates and got bullied at 4 high schools. I was just wild. I was getting arrested at a young age, smoking. You know, my mum was like, what the hell's going on? Why you act like this? I was never telling her that my stepfather used to beat me. And he would always whisper things to me and tell me I'm no good, I'll never be nothing. And always torture me. And I was that angry as a youth, I used to get blackouts. Like literally
Wow.
blackouts. I used to, like, I could be here sitting down, I'll get up and I'll just go, drop. And when I'm really angry, when someone frustrates me, I will get blackouts.
Wow.
Like when I fight, I just know I'm gonna hurt you. Like if I say my mind, I'm gonna attack you, I'm gonna stab you. I don't remember doing it, but I know I done it. Does that make sense? Like I would literally just kind of, my mind goes shh, and I just do what I've got to do. So I had a lot of troubles, you know, but I was a very loving guy. Don't get it twisted. I was a very loving boy, but I just had my own issues. I had that kind of Jekyll and Hyde mentality. And I think a lot of young people see today in the streets in London, you know, even in Scotland, they had that situation. I think, in fact, when we look at Scotland, Scotland did that. They did that whole rechange of young people. What they done when they looked at the traumas of people in Scotland, they brought the knife crime down because they looked at the traumas that people are going through and re-educated people how to deal with young people. And I think like, so I know like I'm not the only person to have that kind of thing going on as a young person. So I would say to anybody out there who's got similar anger issues as you, find someone you can really talk to. Do you get me? Find someone you can really relate to, because that was my downfall. I didn't really open up to no one. So I just let it spiral out of control. You know, I tried to kill my stepfather at the age of 14. Yeah, I tried to stab him up. And that's when mom knew that something was really wrong. Because I tried to kill him and then I was arrested a couple of times for robberies and got off them all the time because I was pretty good at it. Like I said, I became really elusive. I became that person that became a very slippery guy. The abuse became the abuse of it. So I just knew how to, I was just pretty smart at doing things and getting away. But to know it wasn't to my benefit, because the more I got away, the more I felt I could do. Do you get me? And it's actually, when you look back at life, I always say the worst traumas are those you can't talk about. Because a lot of things, you know, you can't talk about. I was talking to my son, same thing about on the way up. We said to him, like, certain things going on right now with certain family members in Jamaica. I said to him, bro, like, it's not that situation. Look at the reality where when you have things you can, like, things that I can say, talk about the murder I've done, and, you know, I can mention I got arrested for knife and I've been arrested for robbery and, you know, armed robbery at the age of 15. But what about the things that I can't talk about that still torment my brain? Does that make sense? Or I can't come to peace with? Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, because not everything you can justify. There's things that you've done that many people out on the road have done. You might even have a loved one. Say you cheated on a partner, you know she didn't deserve it. And then, you know, you deep in your heart, you feel sad that you've done it. But you can't change that, and you can't change the wrongs you've done. But you have to learn to deal with it. And sometimes you don't feel comfortable about the things you've done in it. And you hurt that woman. But imagine if you've hurt somebody in life. Do you get what I'm saying? Or you've done something to somebody that you can't take back. Do you know what I mean? You got to live with that though, innit? So I always say to people that this road thing, it's a waste of time, bro. Like, you know, there's a lot, people got to look at the deeper picture. There's a lot of things that people do. Like I said, the worst of traumas are the ones you can't talk about. And that's the ones that, you know, really takes a lot to work on yourself and a lot of psychological, you know, healing you need to be dealt with. So for me, I would never encourage young people or anyone to go on the streets, man. It's a waste of time. Literally a waste of time.
When did you start to channel your energy into, did you say it was Thai boxing and stuff?
Yeah, I did that before I went to prison still, to be honest. Because when I went to prison, I was a youth, I was, like I said, I was very calculated. I always told myself, if I ever go to prison, I have to know how to fight, innit? Like, I grew up with certain, what people call yardis. And certain people around me was always say to me, two things you do: make money, which I wasn't really passionate about money. I was passionate about doing things. I'll be honest with you, I was passionate about, some people's drive was money, to make a lot of money. I had friends around me who that was their drive, to make a lot of money. My drive was, especially because of the way I grew and the mindset my drive wasn't about money. It was, I don't know, I made money, lost money, but my drive was never really about that. My drive was, how could I do what I need to do and not get caught? And I was pretty good at it. You get what I'm saying? I was pretty good at doing the wrong things. And it's that situation, it's those kind of things, like I say, like, yeah. So my mind's gone back into something. That's what I'm saying.
Tell, yeah.
Sometimes it's not easy to, when you think people try to make these things like it's, you know, it's cool and all this, being on the streets is cool and all that, and being on and doing things. It's cool when you're in that mind frame, but when you mature and you realize yourself, half the shit you do ain't worth it. And the amount of losses you count, when you think about the lives that lost or just friends that you lose to the system or whatever, the risk versus reward, no matter how much money you make from it, it's not worth it. Do you get me? So my mind went away while we was talking.
And all the
I
years
kind of
you
went
lose
somewhere.
in
Yeah, I
prison
kind of went
and everything.
somewhere.
Yeah.
mentally. And it happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go somewhere in my head. Do you get me? Don't get me wrong, I'm in a good place, but I'm just, you can't, trauma is something that you can't get over. You can learn to deal with it, but you can't get over it. You can't forget, you can't act like nothing ever happened. And if you do that, then you're only compartmentalizing, blocking things on the back of your head, which is unhealthy for you anyway. You're just going to be like a ticking time bomb. So better you accept it and just find a way to deal with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of guys take drugs and take the pills, and like you find in America, the gangs in America, in Jamaica, they smoke a lot of weed because they're trying to run from the reality. But
that's a shortcut, isn't it? You got to do the work, the internal
100%.
work to like get it minimized.
Yeah, 100%. So how do you deal with it? How do you control? This is what I do with young people now. I work with young people, I'm mentoring them things. And it's about letting them know, listen, you got to deal with the traumas that you've been through, and try to avoid them from going through the things that I've done. Because, it can be heavy at times, man. It can be heavy. It can be heavy at times.
What was your fitness routine in the prison then? And did you have like where we had like a mop buckets with water, broom, mop bucket on either side. This.
In GP prison, they had an actual proper gym.
A gym?
Yeah, man, in GP had a gym. But in Spanish Town, we had cement, like the paint containers.
Yeah.
The empty paint container, fill it with cement, and then put a little piece of iron in it. And that's your weight gym. That's your weights in it.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of body press ups, because my friend National, that he was a bad boy fighter. Because for me, learning to fight was always something important. Like I said, I grew up, people told me that, if you're on the streets, prepare for two things: die and go to prison. So of course, as a youth growing up, learn to fight was something important to me. Because I knew if I ever go to jail, I'm gonna punch up man. And I always thought it's good if I know that I'm on the streets, and if I got something on me, but instead of pulling it and I punch you up and I show you I've still got my thing, you know to yourself that, well, you know what I'm saying, like this guy, he can handle his business in it. So for me, that was important. Like I could always learn to fight. I was always good at fighting. But when I was in prison, we did a lot of calisthenics, a lot of like martial arts, a lot of kickboxing. Because Moses, the guy said he was there for life, he was he's a bad boy at Tai Chi. And then you had Blacks, which is Devon Wine, R.I.P. National. He was like a monster. This guy was ridiculously strong. Al Capone was a big dude, like big, and he was just not right up here, but he was a really lovely guy, but he was crazy. And like, a lot of us were like real strong dudes. So the guys I clicked with, and how often I didn't know from road. You get what I'm saying? But we just clicked because we just got along. We were trained together. So for me, that was one of the main things for us. We was just training and just kept ourselves like straight up warriors in prison. Straight up warriors. Boy.
Sometimes if you become a warrior in prison, does it make people want to challenge you? Because then if they think they can beat you, they're going to have a bigger reputation.
Yeah. Both yes and no. Yes and no. Because there was times where I had conflict with one or two people, but they would never come to me with their fists.
What was that over?
I had a conflict with a guy once towards my end of my sentence, where this time I've actually established myself in prison big time. I had a big syndicate in prison. I'm gonna be real with you. I was rolling with a big syndicate, and I could have done a lot of stuff in prison. Like I had my people around me. I could have, because I was never a person to abuse the love that people showed me. I could have started a serious war when the guy did what he done. And I talk about my book, because I'm not here to boast or glamorize. He pulled a knife out of me, and I could have, like, technically, when we was walking, I came out of my piss bottle late. So he was eating his food at his table outside his cell. So I walked past him and he started cussing, but I just thought, just allow it. He came to my cell after now with some top guy that was cool with me. Yeah, one guy from one ghetto called in Riverton City, very dangerous place in Kingston, Jamaica. He came with this guy that was part of their crew, because I was looking on their block. So that most of my boys were on their block. We were on different blocks, but I was looking on their block. I was in GP. So he comes to me with his friends now at my cell. Now I'm in my cell with Richard Badness next to you. There's Richard Badness' friend in the cell. He knows my bridges, but he's not part of our little clique in it. So I'm in there, and the guy comes to the cell. But I know they had fear for me, because again, you can see my picture. I wasn't no small dude, and I was very strong, ridiculously strong. At the same time, people knew that I have a tendency to poke you up if it comes to it. So a strong guy with a knife is not the best person to war with. They came out 4 or 5 of them in the cell, and in fact there was more than 4 or 5 of them, to be honest. There was loads more. There was about at least about at least 7 of them. See, they come to my cell, and they're like, they started talking about the main man. I give him respect. The main man for that crew, the guy from Riverton. Yeah, his name in the book. I talk about him. His name's Fire. He goes to he RIP'd him. I heard that he's passed off recently. He's out to find out what really happened because he don't want to beef with me because me and him's cool and he knows who my people are still as well. So he don't really want to beef with me. So we cool. But this next guy, he didn't like me because he knew I always walk with money and people are envious of me. A lot of people are envious because I walk with a lot of money. Not little change. I walk with say £300-400 in Jamaica prison, and so I had other people's money as well. And you know, if you have that much amount of money in you, you should be getting robbed. But I was never robbed. And I'll be honest, and not about, again, not that I was bad at anybody, I was never robbed in prison. Anybody would say that, anybody anywhere would say, this you who call Hebrew was never, that's what call me Hebrew, was never robbed in prison. Never. No one ever took my stuff. So this guy is kind of being envious of me still. You get me? But he was in their crew. And so that, I think that little occasion we had with the piss bottle, me walking past the cell with the piss bottle, that at a late time, because I didn't come out straight, so I was flying it. I come out after. That made him think like kind of give him the edge to come to my cell and start. So they all at my cell, but I know they're not answering me because they pulled out knives. Apart from the boss and 1 or 2 youths, blacks didn't pull out a knife. Everyone else pulled out a knife. You get me? And then that he went to punch my face and he just skinned my face in it. But my man said to everybody, calm. The boss man said to their gang, said, everyone calm. Because he knew if they did kill me or if things happened, it would have been peaky in the prison. There would have been a prison war. You get what I'm saying? Because my friends and other guys who I made connects with in prison, it wouldn't have went so easy in it. So, and the main guy, I won't lie, the main guy for the crew, he had a lot of respect for me. You get me? So, me and him was cool. So he turned around and says, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of calmed it down. But then the same guy who did that to my face, he boxed my face, a next top man from my era that my people are very connected to, boxed him in his face about a month later. You understand? Because he wasn't, because the thing was, I was going road soon, innit? I was going road about like a year, about 8 months, a year or something like that. This man's never going road. He's got like 100-something years. And I literally mean 100-something years. Like, some man's got some serious sentences. You got people who've got 300 years and they'll be like, man, go home tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going home. I'm like, doo-doo. Yeah, you're cuckoo. You ain't going, where you going, bro? You ain't going nowhere. You understand? But some people have some real sentences. This guy had 100-something years. He went and boxed you back in his face, innit? But a month later, he waited time. He asked me, what's going on? I said, no. I said, nah, like, I ain't gonna do nothing. He goes to me, please, don't retaliate. So waste of time. Like, I said, no, I'm not retaliating. Because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't gonna retaliate. Because I had fixated that I was changing my life around. I was fixated that I'm gonna come over to be a better person. I'm not gonna get involved in street life. And I was fixated that I'm gonna do better, innit? But so when he said to me, don't do nothing, I said, no, I wasn't gonna. But because I was part with certain youths in prison, and some of these were a bit hot-headed, but I was the one that kind of kept them calm at times. He thought they're gonna, because they were saying to me, nah, but we want blood. I said, nah, bro, forget that, because that's gonna put me, drawing me into it, innit? So nothing happened out of it. Somebody said to me, allow it. I said, yeah, I'm gonna allow it. But then I know he took it on his head, and the big man, he's a boss still. He took it on his head and he boxed you in his face, innit? A month later, he boxed you in his face. I stood there watching, and then the youth had his knife, but the youth's boss, the youth's other boss, who I said me and was cool for River City, he goes to the guy, don't even think about it. Because if you do anything to this top man, it's gonna be an all-out prison war, innit? So it was there. It just died out. But there's so much time, man. Things happen in prison. It's just crazy. Like, a lot of things happen in prison. You know, a lot of people got killed. It's just, prison was crazy. They one time ago, apart from the warders tried to kill me, the police, apart from the police tried to kill me, the warders set me up as well. The police made the
Why
warders
did they do that?
They set me up on an attempted murder, which I didn't do. They said that I'd murdered somebody, and I thought, what? Attempted murder? I'm thinking, shit, something in my past come back on me. They wanted me in Spanish Town jail. That's how I was in Spanish Town prison before I went GP. And then I said, shit, okay, cool. So I went with them, because I had to, no other choice. So I went with them in the police truck to Spanish Town prison, to Spanish Town jailhouse. Not the prison itself. I left from Spanish Town prison to Spanish Town jail. I'm in the jailhouse. Spanish Town jail is a big station. I'm in the jailhouse. They took me right to the back of the building. So a cell full of inmates. There's so many cells that had no one in there, or just 1 or 2 people. And they took me right to the back. And I was thinking, well, blood, like, look at these cells. But can't argue police, because Jamaica police will beat the shit out of you. You get me, especially if you're by yourself. Took me to the back of the cell. Cut long story short, When they opened the cell to me to go in the cell, I'm like, my man thinking, this cell's for bare people. There's so much people in the cell. Why you want me in the cell? So when they want me to go in the cell, one you step forward in it. I said, yo, Tata. That's my road name, innit? So he called me Tata. He said to me, Tata, why I go on? I'm going to say, yo, my family, why I go on? And when I said that, it's like everyone else kind of looked at each other like, and the next one stepped forward, yo, my Jenna, why I go on? I was like, even though then time they used the word Jenna, he's like, yo, my family, why I go on? Bless it, why I go on? And that's the next you said that from Rivoli. Because when you did that, he come from out of my place to see of a train line. And next one said from Rivoli, he said, yo, why I go on? And then it's like everybody else kind of looked at each other like, shit. But I know they put me in that cell to kill me. Because if them two youths never actually realized who they were gonna kill, I would have been dead that day.
Wow.
Because the police set me up to kill me. They tried to set me up to life many times, but God's been with me. You get me? Like God's with me. I swear on my kids, they tried to kill me many times. Jailhouse twice, prison, they tried to set me up, but it didn't work. And they put me in a remand block. Many times, I told by my book. I said clearly they tried to kill me. I know that. And I'm not gonna hide it. They tried to kill me. And they've killed a couple of my friends well in prison. You get me? The Jamaican system Jamaica's such a small country, but the system can lose if you want. Because when I was in prison, I didn't see British High Commission for a long time. Because they told British High Commission I didn't want to see them. And so British High Commission couldn't see me. But it was all a lie. It was all a lie. That's how I got to realize that foreigners was located in the front. Because I never saw foreigners. I was put around the back. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So that's why I realized that they wanted to kill me. Because they never locate me where all the foreigners located on South Block, where you said Tugger Wall was located. They didn't locate me there. They located me around the back of Remand. You get me? They've had the intentions to protect my life more than once. But God had better plans for me. You get what I'm saying to you?
What was your lowest moment throughout the incarceration?
My lowest moment was my first couple of months in prison, man. That was really low. I had nothing. My shoes were literally opened. Like, you know, my trainers who could talk. Like, the front of my shoes were ripped up. Because, like, hey, what you saying, bro? Like, literally, because the bad man prisoners, they cut my shoes. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I went through mad suffering. They cut my shoes. They could have sent me cocoa. Like, I swear, it's like I had to go for it. They cut my shoes. They took away my clothes. In Jamaica prisons, a place where if your clothes drop on the ground, like my t-shirt, this shirt, jump here. If that drops on the ground, you got to leave it. It's crazy. They had crazy mentality. They call it bow. So if I did this and picked it up, I have to go over to that block I told you about, the Batman block. You have to go over there. It's just ridiculous. So you become a groundsman. You're nobody. You can't drop nothing on the ground. It was stupid. I changed all that after a couple of years. When I established myself, I said, no way. I started picking up my things and I did a lot in prison as an English youth to turn around a lot of madness that was going on. Because it was ridiculous when I first went. 98, it was madness. You drop anything, leave it where it is. You drop your food utensils, and if you only got one bowl, you drop it, leave it. You can't pick up there for you got nothing to eat out. Or maybe you could take a next plastic bottle, open that up and use a Coke bottle as a food container or something. Because if you pick up anything off the streets, off the floor, it's like you're gone.
Constant pressure.
Yeah, everything's pressure.
Yeah.
No, there's toilet facilities, the utensil facilities, the way prisons are always, there's not enough toilets. Even outside in the morning, you've got like 3 or 4 toilets on remand block. I think it's 4 toilets for 20-something prisoners to shit in. Like, it's ridiculous. It's the system designed to pressure the inmates. It's designed to make you angry, constantly angry. There's no rehabilitation in Jamaica prison. None. It's constantly designed to make you angry. The worst time was when the prisoners, I'll tell you a funny occasion, when the warders took over. The warders stopped working in the prison and soldiers came into prison. I don't know if Tugger was in prison at that time, but the soldiers took over the prison. That was a crazy time for us, where we was no longer having warders walking around. You have soldiers. People were trained to kill were your prison guards now. They beat the shit out of me. They beat the shit out of me one day. One day I done something. I didn't understand the levels that they would have went to being in prison. They beat the hell out of me.
What had you done?
I didn't fill my bottles to my drink bottles. I didn't fill it up in my water bottles. And so I wanted to go fill it. The soldiers would push us to go back. There's a few warders, but most warders were kicked off the job. The soldiers took over. So they were like, I'm like, I want to go fill my buckle, but he would say, nah, not let me out myself. So I got rude in it. And I thought, okay, cool. Like, no, he thought like, okay. I thought, okay, cool, because he wouldn't say nothing. Then his colleagues started saying things, and then they was like, don't worry, man, you're fine. What did you say again? And I said, nah. I realized that, I don't repeat myself. But then they're like, Repeat, I called him my pussy. Like, it's like, you get me? I'm vexed with them still. I was vexed, innit? I need my water bottles. I'm not begging no one. I'm not drinking no one's bottles. I need my own bottles. So anyway, the next soldier comes to me and says, "Don't worry, man." They start talking to me normal, like nice. All of a sudden, he grabs my locks. I got locks at that time, innit? And because, like I said, remember, I said it's a grill. It's not a actual. It's not like normal prison doors, and it's grill. So he grabbed by my grill, grabs me by the grill, and puts his boot against the grill. I had my locks. I'm pulling me, so my face is against the thing like that. So I'm squashed. My face is squashed against this, and my locks. So my locks is getting pulled. Imagine you're pulling my locks, and your foot's up against the grill, and my head, so I can't move. I'm just there, and they're just smacking me in my head. And you know the belt of SLR, the SLR machine gun, the belt.
Yeah,
it stings, isn't it? Slapping me, beating me. They beat me against the grill, and then I pull back, and my locks on the floor. Just rip my locks out, and then they open the gate. They told the warder that was there had the keys, said open it. The warder was reluctant, said open it, because warders are scared of soldiers. They opened it, they came and they beat the shit out of me. Beat me with the belt, whacked me up with the belt, boot me. Bro, I had a concussion for days. I'll be real with you. They beat the shit out of me. For days, I was like, fuck me, boy. Like, my hair couldn't even think properly. Like, my head was just, for days, it was pounding.
Yeah.
Pounding. Like, they battered the hell out of me. But then you get injustice like that in prison in Jamaica, because there's a time when I escaped. No, I escaped. I mean, not escaped prison, but I escaped the injustice. What happened? The whole prison got beat. The whole prison. They open up. Like, there's so much injustice. The human rights have come to Jamaica prison many times because the injustice happens to the inmates over there. Like, a lot of people don't understand that for a country that's even under British rule, because still, you know, it's independent, still under British judicial system, innit? The injustice is ridiculous. Like, Britain needs to do more. I'll be real with you, because the injustice is crazy. The things that inmates go through, the torture and the violence that they go through at the hands of warders, but at the same time, the way that inmates are able to even issue out violence against warders or even against one another is ridiculous. Like, you got people with swords in there, like cutlasses, and like when I see people fighting, when people fighting, it's not everyone's got a homemade prison shank. Some people actually got cutlass from road and like proper machetes. They got proper like samurai swords. It's instant in prison. You get what I'm saying?
Was there any riots? Did you see any like running battles between groups?
Yeah, 100%. But first, like I said, the first I went in jail, first I went in prison. I mean, I saw you get cut up. There was fights. There was fights in prison. There was fights with people, my friends of mine, and other guys. You know, we've had mad intense wars in prison. You know, like I said, not everything can be talked about. There's mad intense wars, but there's wars that I can say I've seen. You know, between other people, and it was crazy. Like when I first went GP, I see two guys, Tommy Trouble and Jerry Guts, fighting the whole of the same guy who I said try to hit my face, and he's the main guy from Riverton, his mate. They had a war with these two guys that I know from Wild Tales. It was crazy. They was running back and forth with cutlasses in prison. Ching, 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 ching. It's like it's on road, bro. It's fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? Like, prison in Jamaica is not normal, bro. It's not the experience that you want. That alone can traumatize you. You get what I'm saying? The amount of things you're seeing. Because they had a thing in Jamaica prison. I'll be real with you, where they kill people and leave them. I remember they killed this youth one time. I left him sitting down like this. Sitting down like against the wall like this, leaning against the wall. And the warders walked past and counted him. Because that's what they do. They don't count. They don't come in your cell. They just count you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. So how much people in the cell in it? Or 5 or whatever. They just counted him. It's only that next fly they realize that he's a dead man. He's just sitting down there. It's crazy. It can get crazy in Jamaica prison. Like, it can get crazy. Man gets stabbed up, run out their cell, bleeding like crazy, hole in the neck, blood flying all over the place. Yeah, they killed my brother Rima like that. I told by my books, they Rima my brother and they killed him. My local brother from Rima place in Kingston.
Yeah.
They stabbed him in his neck, man. Stab him up in slaughterhouse. It's crazy, bro. Like, prison can get mad. Like,
what about the insects?
Oh, don't even mention the dirtiness. That the prison conditions is nasty. That's the first time I realized that. I never heard about chink in my life. Chink is like a bloodsucker. It's a bloodsucker insect. When your walls ain't clean or they can live in your amok, anything. It's these bloodsuckers. They're like little, I don't know what to call them. They're like little bed bugs. I don't know what they are, but they suck on your blood. When I was in my amok, and at night time I remember I was just thinking, what the fuck's that feeling? And I smelled my hand. I was like, it stinks, man. I thought my penis don't smell like that. Like, what the fuck is this? Bro, it's flipping, the little things are biting me now. I'm thinking, what's all these bumps on my body? The man is telling me it's insects. They're called chink. Yeah, chink, People lean against the wall, they get a thing called liver spot where your skin changes colour from like how I'm dark, you get these little white or light skin patches on your body.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. You had roaches, all type of shit. Sometimes in your food, you got a little roach in your food, just blow it out and eat it, blood. Because if you ain't got the money and you're broke, you just gotta eat it. You gotta survive. Like it's nasty. It's the whole condition it's tormented. It's a torment. It's a very tormented place to be. You get what I'm saying? It's a very tormented place to be. It's an experience that sent anybody crazy. I know people who get 6 months in there and they try to commit suicide. I know guys who've come back here who, you know, they've been over there for drug trafficking and they've come back here and they're just not really right again. Like I'm seeing them on the road and they're like, they're not right again.
Did you see people go crazy in front of you?
Yeah. I've seen people lose it, literally lose it. Man crying for their mum, some people crying, man, like, shut up for a punch in your mouth, boy, if I come, stab you up. And I'm like, blood, like, he's emotional, blood, let the man be emotional. People are very cold. Some people are very cold but for some people it's entertainment as well. When they see someone crying or something, they like, it's entertainment for them, it's fun for them because they're bored, they ain't got nothing to do. Me, my entertainment was more reading scriptures and, you know, studying the Bible or just chilling or listening to music. I don't really get joy of people's sorrows when I was in prison. I kind of learned to change my mindset and where I think about life and see life. And I was never be that type of guy anyway to really enjoy it. Like I said, I had my own issues, but I wasn't really that type of person to get enjoyment of people's sorrows. But yeah, in Jamaica prisons is entertainment. You know, seeing someone, like I said, putting someone on the grill to stand up and say, stay on the grill all night. That's shit.
Torture.
Like, yeah, it's torture for no reason. He's already tortured by being in prison. Why are you going to torture him more? Do you get me? But then again, some man have enemies from road, so you buck in prison and you treat them like nothing. As bad as a man can be, because you can be a top killer, but if I catch you in prison and you're in my cell or with my friends or my block, or I've got more friends, then what can you do?
Did you bond with some people, like make some good friends in there?
Yeah, I made a lot of good friends.
What were their stories?
One of my good brethren, I knew him from road, but we buck in prison. Wayne Bones, they talk about my book. He was one of the top killers in Spanish Town, Clans killer. He was a top man. Some of them guys, they've killed way too loads of people according to the system. You know, I'm not saying that. According to the system says that they killed a lot of people. He's dead now. So RIP to him. There's
Did they die in prison?
No, road. Got killed on the road. Police. There's my friend like Buckwheel. He's where Tuggerwood was over South Block. He died recently as well on road. And I made a lot of friends. I made a lot of bonds in prison with a lot of people. Like I won a lot of people's respect when I was in prison. Over a period of time, I won a lot of people's respect. A lot of people. Like I said, I had friends with people who hate each other. You know, so now I seem to be like that middleman who could kind of ease things down or, you know, kind of stop it. Not in a bossy way. But it wasn't just because I was bad in nobody. It was more that I learned how to deal with. Like as much as no matter how much a killer a person is, everybody, as violent as they are, has something bothering them or something on their mind. Can you relate to that person or can you make yourself be that confident that person wants to talk to? Because when, as bad as a person is, if you can make him feel like you really care for him, he has a whole different love for you, especially when you're in a place like that. And that's what, I didn't just use it to my advantage, but I became that person because the more I came looking at myself and started removing myself from certain things and doing certain things to make my life better when I was in prison, people took note of it. Because we're in prison, there's nowhere to go. So you're taking note of my actions and things I'm doing. So then people started to kind of like say, oh, I like what he's doing, you know? So my name went from knowing everyone who knew me called me Tata from road, both in Jamaica and over here in England. Then I went to Israel because I was reading the Bible a lot in prison. Then I went to Hebrew. You know, I taught myself how to read Hebrew in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, I got fascinated by scriptures. So people started to see the changes in me. Like there was real changes in me. I was really trying to change. And I was always trying to diffuse a lot of problems where some people were more hyping it. So people started to turn to me for a lot. So at one time, I kind of had a lot of respect on my block. You know, some people say I ran it, but, you know, I don't really like to use those terms. But I became a very respected figure in prison.
Was there an accumulation of events that made you look inside yourself to turn your life around, or was it just something triggered you? You
know what? Accumulation of events. Because when I started looking back on my life, I started looking back at, I was very angry at my stepfather. I was very angry, but I realized that his trauma was his trauma. He treated me like shit when I was a little youth. But at the same time, I can't try to work out my head why he did it. I know he had a problem with my real dad, but I can't keep working my head. I couldn't keep getting angry at him or trying to work out why he would treat me like this. I had to know that that's his problems. So I let it go and started to think I can't keep thinking about hating him. Then plus, I looked at a lot of things I'd done in the past of people, and I had people that really liked me, and it really hurt me. There's a friend of mine, really good friend of mine, but I had a serious issue with that person's family. And I thought to myself, just imagine, though, you've got so much love for me, but what happened? Do you get me? But it's like there's a lot of things that happen. Well, I was thinking about my children. I couldn't see them because Jamaica prison is not like England. Your kids can't see you. So I didn't see my children for so many years. Only pictures, talk on the phone. That's it, on the blower. They call it blower. That's all I could do. So for me, it was like I was hurting a lot of people. My children were in prison with me. My family were in prison with me. My family, the house got sold to help with bills and them things. A lot of things happened in my life. Like I affected a lot of people around me by doing the things I did. Do you get what I'm saying? Friends were lost. Half my friends are dead from where I grew up in South Kilburn. A lot of my friends are dead. Those are in jail. It became like, why am I gonna, like, the risk versus reward wasn't worth it. Like I've lost too many people. And in Jamaica, majority of my brethren are powered, are dead. So it's like, what was all this for? Like, I started looking at a lot of things and realizing that I'm hurting a lot of people, and I'm not only hurting myself when I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm very selfish in my actions. And even if your man makes like $1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, if you losing friends on the streets, what does it make sense? Not that I was making that, I'm saying, what does it make sense if you really love your friends and your people? Which I really loved my brethren, and a lot of my brethren I grew up with died over here in the UK, who I used to roll around with, they died. Or they, got caught up in madness and doing mad years. And then my friends in Jamaica, likewise, so I started to think about a lot of things, and I told to myself, that murder I went down for, if I didn't go down for it, and I got, cause like I said, I'll be honest with you, I got away. When I took the guy's life in Jamaica, I literally got away and I went back for my passport. But I didn't need to, because I've already done it before and travelled without a passport. Because if you're British and you're abroad, all you need to do is go to the High Commission, tell the High Commission that you lost your passport, and then they can give you an entry letter, and that's it. And I could have came back to England, but something drove me to go back there, and that's when the police.
That's interesting. What drove you?
I don't know. I just feel like, be honest with you, I'll be real with you. I would say honestly now, I would say, boy, God want me to go back there, because if I didn't, I would have still been caught up with my friends in England. And if I would have got away with that murder and come back, it would have been another situation. I've got away from Jamaica and gone back to England for, because I left Jamaica 94 because of similar situations. That's to be honest and frank. So I would have been in the same situation. I would have been like, you would have heightened my street reputation. Oh, this guy, he's mad, he come to Jamaica, he can do his thing. And similar things happened in the past. So that you'd be like, okay, you can. So for that reason, because when I left 94, I had it's sad to say this, but a guy saved my life in 94, and I ended up cutting him up almost, everyone thought I was going to kill him, but I didn't. I just cut him up. Because I talk about it in my book. He's a good friend of mine. Was a good friend of mine. But he saved my life one day. Literally saved my life. He saved me from getting killed by some guys.
Are you able to talk about that?
Yeah, I could talk about it.
Yeah, run it down.
Yeah, what it was is, when I went to Jamaica as a youth early in my time, I was angry with this guy. Yeah, I was angry. I was an angry youth. I met this girl, liked this girl. This drug man's son, top man in St. Anne's, big guy, money maker. His son also must have liked her as well. He disrespected me, called me a foreign idiot. So he didn't even touch me, but ignorant. I was ignorant and dumb. So I'm like, you disrespecting me. In my mind, I've got to make everyone know in Jamaica, I'm no one to play with. I just come to Jamaica. This is my first time come to Jamaica. I don't know nobody. I've just come there for holiday because of my mom to get me out of England, because I've been too much trouble with the police, and police are always calling my name. All right, Stephen. I'm like, you don't know me. You get what I'm saying? So they always want to get me. They kicked my door off, so I did an armed robbery, which I didn't do. I was actually on ID parade in Brixton. So that was my alibi, was the police. So I was going through a lot in it as a little youth, a lot. So mum said, Jamaica, you have to just go to Jamaica. But it's like I was going through so much. In fact, that didn't happen until after, because I came back to England 3 times in 1 year. I kept going back and forth, back and forth. So it's like my whole thing was mad. So this guy, me and him ended up beefing Jamaica. I beat him up over this girl. I beat him up technically over a woman, but over my ego, really, because he did in front of a woman. And then he sees me on the beach. I go back to England, come back again, because again I got so much trouble in England. I come back to Jamaica. He sees me on the beach. I'm with my friends. They are a bunch of cowards. I don't want to go into the story. They're a bunch of cowards. These guys I'm with in St. Anne's, they were cowards. They ran to see I got a Rambo knife from one of the other guys. I said, listen, well, I'm going up there. There's no way I'm going to stay down here. We go up there and I'm going to do my thing by myself. They're like, no, come. I'm like, no, because you're giving them more time to call more of their friends. These guys got money. They got cars. They got bikes. Like, they're going to kill me, innit? They don't want to kill you. They want to kill me. So I'm like, I got to grip this Rambo knife. I'm going up there. So anyway, this coolie guy comes from nowhere. In Jamaica, we call him coolie, like Indian looking. Slim guy. Like he can't kill ants. Like he can't kill ants, but he's a bad boy. I don't know him this time. I don't know him, but he's a bad boy. When he comes over and asks him, what's going on? Like, why is this English? Because he knows I'm a foreigner. He lives on a scheme. He goes, why the phone look so, all uptight and everything and angry? He's like, yeah, these guys up there want to kill him because the fight happened. He goes, yeah, I know what, you knew what happened with me and the guys. He said, Chuck, come. So me and him walk up there. So the rest of the little cowards, they stay in the sea in it because they want me to come stay in the sea because we're at the beach. I'm like, hell no. So I'm got this guy now. Me and he's walking up there. I got my grip in my knife. I'm like, yo, it's on because I felt brave again. Like I felt good in it. This guy's willing to walk with me. We're gonna just do this thing in it against whatever they want. So when we go up there, they see him. They don't really know that he's a bad boy. He's from a parish called St. Mary. He's a bad boy from Anata Bay. So they're like, yeah, they're not gonna beef me in it. We just walked past them. They said a few things, but it was cool that day. So he saved my life technically. Because if it wasn't for him, they would have killed me or they would have battered the hell out of me or something. But years later, me and my friends from town, like I said to you before, I used to bring town guys to St. Anne's. So me and my town friends, who they're a bit local, you know what I mean? These youths are really like dangerous little youths in Kingston. We're chilling, drinking, smoking, chinking in St. Anne's. Guys, like I said, I bring town friends down St. Anne's. Then he comes over, the same guy who saved my life. This is like years later though. He come over, because we always see each other, of course, because we ran each other. But he comes over and he's drunk and he's talking to me normal. My friends are like, brother, who this man? So they're not happy to him to be there, innit? And then he's like, yo, tell him who I am, I'm a bad man, which he is a bad man. He's a dangerous guy from St. Mary's. But he don't realize these two guys are not to be played with. These guys are not writing in the head. These guys are serials from Kingston City. You get me? One was from Jungle and the other one was from, what's the name? Jewsland. A place called Jewsland. These are very two places in Jamaica, in Kingston that, dangerous, these are some dangerous garrisons. And these youths are dangerous youths. So they want to kill him. I can see they want to kill him because I saw the play. They start whispering each other and then they're both cousins. They start whispering each other and they start walking different ways. So he spotted the play, but I spotted the play. But I knew what they were going to do because in Jamaica, back in those days, we always said garlic are nice. You know garlic? You know garlic, right? You know garlic? Like garlic, normal garlic, cooking garlic.
Garlic, yeah.
Garlic your blade. If you put garlic on a knife, it not only does it make it go in easier, it makes you bleed more. It makes you bleed quicker and more.
Right.
So we used to garlic our knives. Yeah, so we're just young, innit? We're just young, right? It's a garlic our knife. So he rolls one way, the other guy goes the other way. And our knives, we used to like, instead of having our knives out, like you don't always have to take a knife out. We call tree style ratchets. It has like when you got your knife folded, the bottom of your knife, or you say your knife it folds is here. You cut this part off, so you got a piece of your knife always hanging out. You don't have to always flick a knife to take it out. You got the butt of your knife is always there, so you can just in someone's head. Do you get me? So my mate had his knife like that, like he's gonna butt him, but the other one took his knife out. So he was watching the one who had his buck showing, but the other one had his knife out, and he didn't know because he was gonna poke him. You understand? He was gonna stab him up. So I spot the play. I grabbed the Indian guy, the coolie guy, and I grabbed him and I pulled my man's knife from him. Because if something has to happen to him, because it's a part of the mindset in it, something had to happen to him, because they were not gonna let it go. So I thought if anyone's gonna have trouble, best me. So I grabbed him, I pulled his hair down. He's got long hair, coolie hair. So I pulled his hair down and I put the knife up in the air. So everyone thought I was gonna stab him. But I didn't. I just cut him a couple of times. Just give him because opened his back up a couple of times. And then of course he was bleeding up and everything there, but I had to pull him away from the other guy who tried to butt him, and it was just mad. It was just a quick madness. And then then people were begging him to charge me because people wanted me to be arrested, and people say certain people didn't like me because, like I said, I was bringing people from town. I had my own little problems, and I was a bit of trouble guy. As an English, I was a bit troubled. And then so he didn't charge me because he had love for me. And he knew I was going back to England. Mum was going to get me out of the country because I had the problems. And so he did. So what happened is he Didn't charge me, God bless him. And we spoke about a couple of days later. He's like, bro, look what he done to my back. And I felt sad when I see his back. You know, he part of it had stitches because he opened his back up and everything there. And yeah, it was just one of the mad ones.
Did you tell him they were going to kill you? So I basically saved you.
Yeah, he kind of knew, so we reasoned because he saw my man's buck. He saw my man with a button in it. He thought, yeah, he's gonna button. But my other virgin had his knife to his side in it.
Yeah.
So he kind of knew that something was going to circle him in it. So he knew they wanted to stab him up. But I told him that. So I make him understand, like, you know what I mean? What I done to you was technically my way of. And like I said, I was drunk as well, but I really and truly, we was all drunk. We was all too much weed, too much smoke, too much. You get what I'm saying? You're young and we're just smoking too much and too much weed, and you get me? We're all kind of angry youths, and he's a bigger man for us, but he's not a pushover. I'm not gonna sit here on the mic and say he's a pushover. This guy's a dangerous guy. This Indian guy's a dangerous guy. He's a serial. He can do his thing. But at the same time, it wasn't, you get me? It just happened all too fast. So the easiest thing in my mind at that time was just to give him a couple of cuts and let him know, say, yo, ease yourself, blood, because these guys are crazy. Yeah. You know, they would have killed him without question doubt and going back to town. You get me? They'll just cut and live, go back to Kingston, and no one can catch them because no one really knew them down there by that. Because when man come on there, they don't really use your name, and you get what I'm saying to you. So you're just used to A-list and them. So they could have got away easy. You know, so I guess that as well was where police officers like me, because I used to bring out town friends come down. They had a housing scheme that my friends used to come down, and because we knew the security guards there, the security legally had to have guns. We were on this housing scheme before it was developed. So there was a guns on this housing scheme. Do you get what I'm saying? So they was assuming that we had guns. I'm not saying I had guns. I'm not saying that at all. But they assumed we had guns over there. So there was always questions, but because the police couldn't really do nothing much about it, there was a lot of talks about certain things. You get me?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So once you started to change your life around in the prison, and you had this, you know, I'm going to read, I'm going to study the Bible. How did your day-to-day living change once you made that decision?
My day-to-day living changed big time, because in spite of course, man, we living with everybody else. We wake up, fly up, check out your piss bottle like everyone else, get your food off the tray if you're eating from prison food or you're cooking your own food. It was the same as everybody else in that respect. But in respect to how I started seeing my life and doing my time was different. I did a lot of meditation in prison. I started to meditate a lot of self-reflection. And like I said, I was doing things and people would see me sitting down in my cell. When fly up, I take my piss bottle out and then I might just sit down in my cell and meditate for half an hour. So I'm sitting in my cell, like on the floor, like qigong and meditating, and people's like, who the fuck is that in Jamaica prison? You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, in prison, bro, you meditating, like, you get what I'm saying? So I would do those kind of things, and it kind of inspired people. I was that kind of guy. It was inspiring people that I was a bit different, and I was carrying myself different. I was talking different things. I was all talking about scriptures. I was doing like kickboxing, and then because I was going through so much suffering, after a while I started getting visits a lot, and I get a lot of foreign visits because my friends from over here now realized I was suffering. They started bringing things to me. My family bringing things to me. So when I went from having nothing in prison, I got like 4 pair of Nikes and Adidas. I've got the latest jeans in prison. I've got the latest clothes. I wasn't wearing them because I'm in prison. Father said it's a waste of time, and my mindset's changed anyway. So people bring me all these new designs like CD Seps and all these kind of things, but I didn't need them in prison because to me, where am I going with wearing like, you know, the latest Nikes in prison? Like, who am I showing up for? Men?
You detached yourself from material
mentally,
things.
Yeah. So I was in prison, like, what am I doing all this? So I had them there. So I used to give prisoners. I give prisoners this and give prisoners. I said, when strikes were coming, I would use my money and buy a lot of food, like because in prisons sell their food. They'll sell, people getting visits, they'll sell their food, like their biscuits and their crisps and that, for their nose. So I would just take the advantage of it and buy it. I buy it off prisons. Because if it costs, I don't know, say $50 for something, you get prison said $15 or $10. So I buy it, I take the advantage and buy it, but not for myself. I buy it and I give people who never had nothing. So that made a lot of top guys in prison look at me different. They're like, yo, this guy's different. He's moving different. So I want a lot of respect from people. Not, again, like I said, not just because I was bad or just even because I was changed, but because of my change my persona. Because I went through so much suffering in the beginning. Like I said, the first one I was suffering, I went through strikes, I had no food. I didn't want to see other people go through that. So on my block, I didn't say I did it for everybody. I could do it all the time, but I did it a lot. And people saw that in me and saw, this guy's different. And it kind of spread around the prison, what I was like and what I was doing. And certain man would just, I'll go into different blocks. Because then I started venturing out on different blocks. And people were like, see the Hebrew there. And people just liked me. He's a good guy. So I just started winning favors from a lot of top dudes like in prison. They were like, well, I go on, big man, and I started getting drawn to the table when certain things were going on and certain problems happened. I was getting called to the table to say, what do you think? And I'm like my mind, I know I'm here now, innit? Like I'm here amongst the main people who were making decisions, but I'm not walking around saying that. I'm always still the same humble guy, doing my own thing, keeping humble, doing this, exercising. But I realized that I had a lot of respect for certain people because I carried myself different, and this is what made me realize that you don't. That's why I said that when you change your persona and the way you deal with things, it also changes the way people see you and perceive you. And that's part of the way where helped me to even do the things I'm doing today. And like me going to Chicago, how you go to Chicago to Crim Record? Like, you get what I'm saying? I've done things, I've been able to do things that, because I've changed my life around, like, God's opened ways for me to do certain things that the average person just can't do. Do you get what I mean? I learned that in prison.
Would you say that helping people in prison then was good for your soul?
Oh, definitely. It was good for my soul, and it was good for their soul too. It was good to see somebody who's really screaming and like suffering, can't have no biscuits or no munchies. Whether it's a lockdown, whether it's a strike going on or not, just being on the cell is boring, isn't it? Anyone knows you want something to munch on sometimes because it's boring. If I can give a biscuit to somebody, just a pack of biscuit when they're on the cell, they can even take a pack of like five little in Jamaica, some little packets, about 5 biscuits in it. But even you got even take 1 an hour. It's just even having something in your mouth apart from what they give you on the tray. It's flipping. People understand how important it is. Like people underestimate how important it is to have just one little biscuit. Or even a man says to you, hold half a biscuit or something, or half a pack of biscuit. Being under lock when you got all these hours to next morning, just have a little biscuit and a sip of water. But a biscuit with that water, it's a good feeling. People won't understand unless they're in that position to know how hard it is when you're in a cell and you got nothing. Do you get what I mean?
People need to, because I went from like having 3 or 4 meals a day to having 2 meals I couldn't eat. I lost about 2 stone. Going days without eating.
It's crazy.
And you start thinking about it, but then you go through like a pain barrier, don't you? And you detach from it.
Yeah.
But you see people going through the garbage, trying to find little things to eat.
Crazy.
Or people have dropped food on like a dirt floor and someone else will just come up and fucking eat it.
That's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. People have to understand. It's just when you've gone through that situation, because you've been through it, you can get it. And this is where, for me, I went through about 6 or so months of it. Like I said, my first in prison, from the jailhouse, the police took all my money, they hid my things, took my clothes, or some of my clothes, hid it. I went to prison suffering. And my family, who I was staying with at that time, they weren't my family I was connected to from the beginning. So they didn't really come check me. My real family didn't know I was in prison. My friends in England are suffering. Now my family, because I didn't see British High Commission, knew what was going on. Everyone just thought I'm living life. But I was suffering in prison. Like I said, my shoes were talking. I was like a tramp in prison. I had a red FUBU pants and shirt on, and it looked pink by the time I saw the. Like, seriously, I had a pink suit on, bro. It was washed with that little, because the prison fabric is disgusting. It's bleaching it. It's bleaching soap and stuff. I'm washing my clothes and I was like a tramp, bro. I'll be real. I look like a tramp. I'm never going to hide it. I look like a tramp, but you know what? God knows I went through that suffering for a reason, because when I did get money and started having my own, I was able to help those who didn't have.
When people were helping you then from the outs, were they allowed to send you food, or is food not allowed to be sent in? Food.
Every Wednesday you get food in, because your visits, you get 2 visits a week by your surname. So mine is Graham, it says G. So I got my visits Tuesday and Thursday. And then Wednesday was cooked food day. So you get dry food and your toiletries, which I stopped buying. After I stopped buying, getting too much toiletries and that coming in, and dry food, because like I said, I started buying from prisons. Because instead of me spending $100 for a pack of biscuit, prisons sell it for $20. So I just said to my family, sneak money in. Give the water to bring money in. And that was it for me. And then I just buy it from prisoners, keep what I need for myself, and give other prisoners what they want. You know what I mean? What I could give. So it was because Jamaican prisoners, everyone sells everything. They sell their clothes, they sell their shoes. You got guys who are walking barefoot. They'll sell their brand new slippers because they want to smoke. Because it's stress and the traumas and everything else is going through. You just want to smoke. You got people smoking a thing called raga. It's like the waste of the cigarette. It's not cigarette. It's the part of cigarette that companies throw away. And the people buy that in a dollar ball, like a raga. It's disgusting. It smells bad and everything. Like, it's just, it kills you. You're black, your teeth all black and shit. It fucks you up. But people are doing it. People buy it because they couldn't afford that. It's really a traumatized place. It's so depressing, mentally, emotionally depressing. And I had to detach from everything. Like, mentally, I detached from the whole thing, because the more I looked at myself, the more I became strong in myself. And I realized that I can't emotionally deal with these guys. Like, I dealt with everyone, but mentally, emotionally, I couldn't keep myself in that mindset, because unnecessary arguments, and people take friends with you if you have. That's why I was fighting so much in the beginning. Because if you got nothing, everybody will want to be against you for somebody who's got something. Even your own friends who might know you from road, they will actually turn on you just to get something. It turned people's minds. This is why I said I want nothing from nobody in the beginning. I will do that until I get my own, which I did, and thank God I got my own. But it's like people need to really be in the predicament I was in to really understand how mentally challenging it is in prison. Like, it's mentally challenging in prison. People think, like, yeah, I know friends over, because I've been in prison in England, I've been in prison in Jamaica twice. 15, and when I was 15 for drug trafficking, and when I was 22 when I went for the murder, and 21, 22. But most people over here, that it's a bit different where the system is, because you got bed and every sleep. In Jamaica, you have no bed, so you sleep on the floor unless your family bring a sponge for you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's really depressing. It's depressing. It's depressing. The walls are disgusting unless you paint it this color. Because most people paint this color anyway, red. Because we got like a chappy in the wall. That's where we hide our phones and that. Because we create our own little places to hide phones and stuff. But it's like, it's depressing. It's depressing. The whole thing is depressing, bro. Everything about the whole system is depressing. The bath, the shower conditions, the food you eat. Jamaica, you think Jamaica good Caribbean cuisines? Hell no. The rice and peas, the peas are hard, bro. Like, you gotta recook that again. If you recook a cup of it, it turns into 3 cups because it's not cooked properly. Like, they purposely do that. They make the food look like shit, taste like shit. So it's just depressing. The whole thing's depressing. It's just depressing. The environment's depressing, and a lot of warders come there and they got problems as well, because warders come problems from home. So they'll come home and they'll come to prison and take out on prisoners. So you got a lot of that going on. But then again, you got warders who won't trouble certain prisons, because if you're a warder and you come from my area, say you came from East Kingston, you're a warder, or you came from Spanish Town, places where I hang out, you can't come and just stress me, because if you do stress me, what's going to happen is I'm going to send people to your family because you come from my area. So you had warders who click with certain prisons as well. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's all corrupted. It's all corruption, because you get what I'm saying? If a warder comes from a certain area, he can't violate that person. If that person got friends and family on road, and if he's known as a shatter on road, because then, of course, you're going to just send people to his house, than his wife and kids. So he has to show you respect in there. So if you need something, he brings it for you. So you have prisoners who had their warder friends who would do work for them. And then it was all snaky, because the warder would go behind your back, and then he would go tell he would do, it's just mad. The warder you might work for me, but then you tell a warder who don't like me or my people it's all corruption. So, man, Jamaica prison is crazy, bro. It's not normal. It's not the normal place, Like I said, they need to revamp it, because Jamaica's a lovely country and Jamaicans are lovely people, but the prison system in Jamaica needs some serious work.
So what about drugs then? Where I was at, heroin was the drug of choice, and now it's flooded with spice as well.
Nah, Jamaica prison, you find coke in prison, Jamaica, but weed, and most people just weed and ragga and cigarettes.
So they're just smoking some weed.
Yeah, a lot of weed.
Not shooting up stuff.
Nah, it's not like that country.
Yeah.
No. Made us weed, weed and ragga for the poor, the real poor. Just take ragga. Like I said, ragga's that part of the cigarette that's thrown away. It's the poisonous part of it.
What was the saddest, most desperate people you saw in there?
Wow, there's so many sad and desperate people, man. There's people who's flipping. I think there's people who will never getting visits. Like, there are some people who are sad and desperate. They actually they turn their craziness into sanity. There's a guy in there they call a Zulu. He was so crazy, but at the same time, he wasn't crazy. He was let out. He's been in prison so long, they let him out. And when they let him out, after 20-something years, 30 years, he doesn't wear clothes. He wears his own, they call him Zulu because he just wears like a little feather thing around his waist, and he makes his own shoes, and he's got his toes are hanging out. He makes his own clothes. He's not right in the head. And they actually let him out of prison, and he banged on the gate. He wouldn't go home. He banged on the gate. Let him back in. So he put him back in the prison.
Like the Shawshank Redemption. You wanted to go back to Shawshank Redemption, the movie.
He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go on road. He was that institutionalized. He couldn't go on road. And there's certain prisons that's been like that. I think that's depressing. That's very depressing. You don't want to be free. Like, you want to stay in that place. Like, you don't want to go home. You get what I'm saying to you? That was sad. But I've seen prisoners cry because their family cry. I've seen prisoners try to take their own life because his girlfriend left him.
Girlfriend stopped visiting him.
Yeah, I mean,
you see people gutted for
yeah,
that.
everyone's trauma's different, innit? Like for me, I lost my partner in prison. I had to try to go move on. Like, cool. Everyone's trauma's different. Now, I wouldn't look and say look out for somebody who is willing to lose it, take their life because they love the long one. I won't say he's weak neither. Everyone copes with a different level of stress. Everyone's trauma is different. What might not stress me, stress somebody else. Do you get what I'm saying? What stressed me a lot in prison was people chatting too much violence around me. Like, I'm already here for violence. We're all here for violence. I don't want to hear the war stories all day. Like, especially when you're born and boasting about it. That shit peed me off. Like, when I look at people and they're like, yo, and boy, they're dead over there. Yeah, we're killing people. Let's kill them. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, we're all here for the same shit. I don't want to hear this no more. You know what I'm saying? That to me was depressing. I didn't like it. But then some people would talk war stories all day long. They talk how much people they killed and who everything killed, and they're talking out things, and then sometimes their mouth got in problem because you're telling people who you killed and you don't realize the person you're talking to, he knows somebody else. The next minute, someone comes stab up yourself and you don't realize why you got stabbed for. So your mouth got in trouble. That's why I said sometimes better you hold your traumas and don't talk about them. Just keep them to yourself.
What about suicide and self-harm?
Suicide was big in Jamaica prison, man. Not big, but it happened.
Hanging?
Yeah. People hang themselves. Yeah, try to kill themselves.
Slashing the wrists.
No, I don't really know anyone trying to slash the wrist. I do know a man who tried to kill himself. But what I do know in Jamaica prison was when people try to kill you, there's the next way people kill you. You know them long light bulbs? Man would cut, they would cut the light, they would take the light bulb out and they would pound it, like crush it to powder and cook cornmeal porridge and put it in the porridge and give you to eat it. And then you shit and bleed your ass out.
How does that kill you?
Yeah, it fucks you over. Fucks you up. It might not kill you, but it fucks you up. Sometimes it can actually kill you, but it fucks you up.
Yeah.
That happens. You get what I'm saying to you? So I don't really trust you. I don't really eat from people. Prison is not something I really eat from people. It's not something you did in prison. It's not something I would advise. Do you get me? Like, but then again, I advise a man, don't go to prison. You get what I'm saying to you? Be real, don't go to prison. No, there's nothing good about prison.
When you switched to your monk mentality, did you change the people you were hanging out with?
When I took my monk mentality.
When you became the monk mentality.
No, I didn't, to be honest with you. I still kept the same people. Because switching sides is a very dangerous thing to do in prison. Very dangerous. Even on road, like now, I still have friends who, like I work with young people on the streets. But I still deal with them. But they just don't. It's learn to control yourself in an environment that's not good for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's like working with young people. I work with a lot of young people who they call street affected and work with they call gang affected. I don't like the word gang, but they use call it gang affected. I still be around them and I still deal with them, but I don't want to use the word say stoop to level. I don't get involved in what they're saying or what they're doing. We'll talk about certain situations, but my spin on it will not be how theirs is. If they're talking about street violence and they want to boast about it, I'll talk about, but then look at the bigger picture of it and I'll give a different analogy. That's how I was in prison. When we would talk about situations, I won't always boast about things. I more talk about. So when me and my friends would talk about, me and guys I met in prison would talk about certain violence. This is why I said a lot of people say like me, because when I started analyzing my own life, reflecting on myself and how I thought about life, and I stopped getting angry at my stepfather. I started looking at certain things I was going through and why I did what I did, and started really looking at my traumas. I started helping myself. I kind of adapted that same method of talking to people. So when I talk to my friends, we'd talk about certain things. I said, but what make you start them things with the blood? Why, when you start, he'd be like, John, so the first time I'm all I got and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah. So I said to him, yeah, so you just said, that happened while you hold a gun. So my mum would say, for instance, my brother got killed. I said, so revenge made you first pick up a gun? Then he said, yeah, you mean the man who killed my brother must kill him back to it. So I'm like, okay, I get it, blood. So I'm saying to him, so your trigger was literally the pain of your brother. And like, hey, you mean, blood? Where you getting at? I said, blood, think about it, your brothers. So then you start making someone look at things a bit different and you start realizing, okay, so his life wasn't actually, because some people say, yo, man, a born killer. But I'm like, no, you're not born killer. You were shaped to be a killer. So then they look at me different because they're like, blood, you actually look at a man different. And like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to encourage what you're doing. I'm making you start to realize yourself. So then not only was my monk mentality in regards to meditating, it actually I became like not a peacemaker, but I became like a person who people could confine to. Some people had problems and say, yo, you're not a big man. Wait, this is going on. I'm like, is that what happened on road? You and a girl? All right, cool, talk to me. And we'll sit down. So before you know it, I had a lot of people. I go to different blocks. I had people come to my block just to chat to me. So I won a lot of respect from different people who hate each other, who had sworn enemies, were murderous each other. But it's because the way I made people look at the situation they're going in. Because a lot of people will say, man a barn killer, or man a serial, man a big killer. And they're both about these things, isn't it? But then when you start talking to people, like it's kind of like mentoring, isn't it? But you're not mentoring. You're just having a good conversation, but you're being mature about the way you conduct yourself. And I make you understand, like, this ain't really. You had a reason why you did it. Not everyone just gets up and decides to kill. Like I told my book, no one's born ill-mannered. I didn't just get up and decide to kill. I was driven by the pains that I went through as a youth growing up. So most of these youths, you look at it, they've maybe lost a family member, or they was bullied, and they bullied too much, so they decide to react to somebody who's bullying them. You know, it's things that happen. Like my cousin, I think I was in my teens. My cousin got killed over here in England. My first friends were killed. My first friends got killed at 11, to be honest with you. But over England, I started losing see friends got killed when I was 11. But when I was 13, my friend, my guy I know, who's a good friend of mine, he killed my cousin. But they're both older than me. But because my cousin's bullying him. So it's only a matter of things you can take in it. So you're gonna you end up stabbing him. The point I'm making, I talk about that in my book as well. I go into the description of it. But I look at it more psychologically because I'm more aware of what's going on around me in society and everything else. Some people, we're not just, it's the environment and things we go through or things we happen in our family lives or in our environment that makes us into the person we are. So it's about finding the root cause in it. So when I used to talk to certain people, instead of them, when they're doing a boast about or talk angry about situations, I'll be like, but how can you do it different? You know, my girl's out there sleeping with somebody else. I'm like, okay, cool. But you can send man to kill her or kill your friend or kill his or her man. But at the same time, if you tell a man to kill the guy, what is it going to change her to go with somebody else? I goes, you're taking someone's life for no reason. So I'll be reasoning man in prison about these things, in it, because man would be angry that they gather on the road, and you understand. So they make them realize that it doesn't make sense. You're not going to change her. You can't change her mindset. You only can change yours. You're only in control of you. I said, now what you could do is, you know enough man on your block, find a new girl to chat to in it, and make her be your comfort in prison. And I'm like, but it makes sense. You're having a beef with somebody, and it goes, a man you try to kill on the road, he might have friends in prison. You're going to start a war for no reason. And worse, you're going to war with someone you don't even know. Worse if he's got friends. So mama said, "Yeah, no, start really think you're talking about." You understand? So they saw me as a logical thinker in it, and I'm like, you know, because like I said, when I was young, I was logical, but I was very cunning in the way I was doing. God forgive me to use that word, but I was, like I said, the abuse came abuse. I was good at doing what I did. I was pretty good at doing madness and getting away with it. I became more logical in a righteous way when I got older, and in prison I had to reflect, time to reflect. And for me, it was more showing people like, yo, your errors of yourself. It's not about somebody else. Take responsibility. Like, you don't have to do this road, or you don't have to go down this way. So this is what that's why people kind of like to talk to me in prison. So that's why a lot of people kind of learn to deal with me different. Like I'm sure when you read the book, the way I conduct myself, I don't boast about the things that I've been through. I explain the situations behind it, because I think that a lot of us don't really have emotional intelligence. With all respect to people, I say that emotional intelligence is something we're taught in school, or now we're taught in society. We're not taught how to deal with emotions and how to conduct ourselves. So a lot of these youths, a lot of these guys in prison growing up through traumatized areas in Kingston, in Jamaica, and Spanish Town, and wherever, in Portmore, wherever, you're seeing murders, you're seeing people being killed, you're seeing rape victims, you're seeing, you're seeing all this type of shit going on every day. I mean, Jamaica, you got guys in Jamaica who have more guns than they have money. You get where I'm coming from? Like, I don't know if you ever watched even like Kent Ross in Gangs in Jamaica.
Yeah.
If you see it, you see it's not a joke. Jamaican guys, you have serious firearms, artillery. You have man who have one pair of shoes, but he's got his gun, could have buy 20,000 shoes. You get what I'm saying? I'm saying air rifles, proper M16, SLR. So when you think about it, you're growing up in a very traumatized life where your weapon is more important than even the things you need, like your daily food and things. It's kind of crazy. So you got to look at a deeper picture. Is that guy really just a violent person? Yeah, he's doing violence, but the root of it, he's got to come from a very troubled background. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And sometimes just making them trying to say different with their lives. This is why I think I do this youth over here in England. You're growing up with a mindset of thinking it's cool to be tough, it's cool to be gangster, it's cool to be rude, it's cool to be, but there's not enough people telling them that, yo, this isn't the way forward. Do you get what I'm saying? You like, what's the issue behind why you're doing this? Or what's the issue in your family? What's the issue in the ends? This post-Cold War and all this rubbish that we have over here. This is what I try to work with young people to try to realize psychologically, you're going down the wrong road completely.
Getting to
You know,
the
your
root
mindset.
causes.
Yeah. You have to get to root causes, bro. If we don't get to root causes, we'll keep going the same thing. Because that was with me. Like I said, I've got to live with what I've done, you know, and only God knows I'm trying to do best for myself now. But the reality is we have to break the cycle. It's a very vicious cycle. It needs to be broken. You get what I'm saying? It needs to be broken. And, you know, people like ourselves who are here doing these things, you know, we once have the ability to break it because we've known what's going on. You get what I mean? So this is what I really want to do. Because I saw so much in prison and before out of prison, and you know, I'm not gonna say everything's gonna stop one day. Because we live in a very crazy world, but it's that situation. I would love to see if I can make a change in people's lives. Then you know, it's a blessing, man.
So when you started to make that change in your own life, then was there like a library or anything where you could get books and study?
You know what? We had a crazy little in Spanish Town. We had prison libraries rubbish. Man. In Spanish Town we had a little libraries. There's about a few books, maybe as big as much as this was. It's a crap library, small libraries. There's a few Tom Clancy's in there, and I used to read Tom Clancy.
Yeah, that was same in America. That's all the Clancy's.
Yeah, listen, that'd be a Clancy there. I was smashing Clancy's, boy. I was reading. That's actually what influenced me to write my book as well, just to write a book because I let write before, but and I'm dyslexic as well, so I reading ability. I got better when I was in prison, so prison helped me that way as well. And I used to read Tom Clancy, and I read a couple military books because in the beginning I was still when I was younger I used to like I said I had a very dark side to me, so I liked certain strategies. So I used to like war strategies of movies, certain movies when I was younger, and certain used to like watching. So Tom Clancy's books were good strategy, good books, and you know I used to watch Tom Clancy, and then there's a few other books I watched about some Cambodian. I read about some Cambodian army guys, and it was a really interesting book. And then but there was no books of studying about law and that. Everything I learned how to deal with emotions came from self-reflection. Came from me taking time to meditate and think about my life. Me taking time to analyze myself and really look at all the shit I've been through. Analyze what's going on with myself. Analyze the degree about my stepfather, because like I said, I didn't want to take on too much of his issues because that's his trauma. I had to analyze and deal with the hate I had for him because I had to get rid of that because that was eating me up. It made me a very bitter child. Like, as much as I was loving, I was very angry. You get me? It made me an angry child. Like, I was loving. Back in South Kim where I used to live, I come from South Kim State. Every older person would say, even now, would say, I was a caring guy. You know, I might have a knife on me or something, but if I see an old woman with her bags, I'm going to take it. When she's black, white, Indian, trying to help her with her bags to her house, and you know, they hear stories of me, but they don't see it. Because I was never that kind of. I grew up to show respect to women and children, you know, and be that guy in my house. I'm one guy, and I'm a total different guy on the road. That Jack on the Hyde thing, I'm nice in the house. When I shut that front door, I'm a maniac out there. Come back around the house, I'm that nice guy. You know, it's just how I was. You know, this is my. You know, if you're my friend, you're my friend. If you're my enemy, then it's problems. You know, it's real problems.
It seems that people are living such busy lives, they don't ever take time out for introspection. Do you credit prison then with providing this gap to stop what you were doing and to look inside?
If I was a school child, I'd put my hand up and say, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, prison was the best thing that happened to me. And I tell people that, people say, what, you met? I was like, no, it was. If I didn't go to prison, I'd be dead right now. Because a lot of my friends who I used to run with are doing 40 years or dead. I would have been dead. And in Jamaica, majority of my friends are gone. They're literally, I've lost more than 100 friends to the road. Clearly, easy. Way more than 100 friends to the road. And that's not me. That's not me pretending or if or button. Yeah. South Kim alone, I've lost more than 15 guys. So South Kim alone. Like, I've lost loads of friends. So for me, prison, like, that was the best thing in the world that ever happened to me. Because it gave me time to reflect. I could never reflect on society. I was always too busy. And I think we live in a society that's so fast. It's every day we get up working, running around. As you said, you know, we live in it's very fast paced, isn't it? So
the internet, everything's stimulation.
We're not really thinking about who are we or what we want to do, you know. And I said that monk lifestyle, believe me, bro, it's the best thing. If a person takes 5 minutes a day, even just 5 minutes, just to really just meditate and breathe and just slow down. But shit, we don't. We just go. And if you got money, you want more. And if you fit, you want to be fitter. But you don't want to be mentally.
Never enough.
Yeah, you just want to be looking. Like, there's a lot of people out here, even in this world. Like, I personally train it. And I always tell my clients, listen, you can change your body, but you can't change your personality so easy. I can make you look like anything you want tomorrow. We can work on your body and change that. But the personality, that's the hardest shit to change. So I always tell my clients, you come in with a good personality, believe me, you're already victorious. And they're like, ooh, I didn't think like that. I said, yeah, trust me, because you got many guys and women out there looking amazing bodily, but they're mentally just doomed. Like, they're doomed, bro. They're doomed. So you know what I'm saying? It's about that change, and that was for me was the key, bro. Like prison, that was the best thing that happened to me. It's crazy to say it, and people think I actually love prison. I don't love the prison, but I love the time that I had to reflect on me, because I would have done it on road. I know that. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, yeah, I maybe would have done it on road. No way, I wouldn't have. I was too busy just doing me.
I wouldn't have done it either. What was the day of your release like?
The demo was a mad one, man, because I actually wrote a romance novel in prison and a poetry book in prison. And then they were telling me, you can't bring it out. I'm like, what? Are you mad? Listen, I had to argue to them. But they're not giving it to me, said to me, because again, top warders respected me. I had that love. But certain warders didn't like me, because it was a mad one. Until you get certain love, you get certain hate. Like I said, the last place I left from was an open prison called Tampering Farm. And that time I was carrying a lot of prisoners' money for them, keeping them from getting bullied by certain Jamaicans. And it's like when I left that day, I looked at prisons and I thought to myself, man, these guys only realize that they're not actually in prison. Like the prison itself is not their problem. It's their mind's their problem. The day that I was leaving, I looked at everybody. I walked out again. I looked at everybody. And I said in my book, I looked at everyone. I thought to myself, these guys are in their own prisons. Forget about the environment they're in. They're in their own prison, their mind. And that day, I just felt when I left prison, I realized how free I was mentally. Not because I just walked out the gate, because I actually looked at everybody acting up like a bunch of baboons in there, just going crazy. I'm thinking, you look wild as hell. And I thought to myself, nah, man, this is never for me again. Like I don't want to go back. I don't want to go to prison. I don't want to live like that again. And from that, I came out of prison. I actually turned my life around completely. I went to college because I had no qualifications before. Like I'm sad to be honest, 30-year-old man come out of prison, no qualification. I brewed at 4 high schools over here. Cause like I said, I was really wild. You go read my book, and I was a wild child. And then I ended up going to university, get a degree in musculoskeletal rehabilitation.
Wow.
So I got a degree over here in sports rehabilitation. I started working with a lot of athletes, pro athletes who play for like professional clubs. I was working alongside one of the biggest football agents in this country, good friend of mine. And I worked with Ryan Smith, used to play for Kansas City Wizards and Arsenal. I played with Junaid, Aston Villa. He played for Aston Villa. Well, quite a few Premier players and young players in academies. I was working with different athletes, and then I decided to not stop that, but I don't do it as much. And I started to focus more on mentoring and then making documentaries and traveling around the world. And I started doing my own thing, which also funded. Like I work a lot of youth work and I get paid and I use my own money to invest in myself. Yeah, it just changed I changed my own life around. You get me? I changed my own life around, because it was needed.
That's what's so inspirational about your stories, this transition from here to here. But just going back to the day of your release again, on that day then, did the prisoners start coming up to you saying things like, you're going to leave those sneakers behind? Can I get the belt?
I left quite a lot of prisons. I had quite a lot of things for prisons still. I did quite a lot of things for prisons because I didn't really need them.
Yeah.
But I even left money because I didn't need it. Like I'm going back to the UK now.
Were they competing to get your stuff?
It wasn't even that, because there's so much respect that I had with prisons. I just kind of said that. I left a mobile phone, said, you keep that phone.
Yeah.
That phone there that I went half the next man on the phone, I said, you keep that one. And you know what I mean? It's like that kind of situation. Like when last time I don't want to boast, and I don't want to talk like to be sound like to try to be, what's that word when people say, oh, you're trying to be modest? But I left prison with a lot of respect. Like a lot of respect. I mean, think about it, you're English, and from GP and even in GP to Spanish Town, back to high rise, through to high rise and down to the last prison I went to, which was Tampering Farm, to carry money for other prisons, not only yourself, but carry money for prisons. Not even Jamaicans were doing that for each other because you could get robbed. I was doing this, and I would have prison board, they give like £40
Yeah.
when you get, imagine you got 15 prisoners and you'll get 15 prisoners, £40 for 15 prisoners, plus your own money that you got. Wow. And you're getting visits from foreigners as well.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of visits because I've got friends now. My friends and family know I'm there. I had thousands on me at times, mad money, like in Jamaica prison at certain times, and no one would rob me.
You were the bank.
Yeah, I was a bank for a lot of people, and no one robbed me. And literally, I'll be real with you, I would give one or two people, like I took my book, I mentioned this guy, Tommy Troubles, he's well-known in Jamaica, dangerous youth. I would send him to my pants and say, go get money. Like he would say to me, give me a 25 booklet or $50. I was like, go on then, go get. At the time I got like 80,000 on me or something. Mad, just mad money. And he'd go in there and just take it. Exactly what he asked for. And people look at me like, are you nuts? Sending them crazy guys in your back. But we learned to love, like, let a level of respect from each other. Yeah. Like I said, when you tell people, you talk to people on a level where you like, it's like psychology, you're psychologically work on their traumas with them. And they respect you certain ways. He would never steal from me. I told him, even next guy named Screw from Kirk, I said to him, Screw's known, bare respect. I said, yo, go my pants and take the money out. People like, are you send them? I said, yeah, cool, go. People like, are you crazy? How you gonna send them people? I feel like what people fail to realize is they would judge a lot of people who've done bad things. Like people when I was younger, some people might say, especially my enemies, I don't trust him, I don't deal with him. But because you don't really know me or because we got the wrong foot. But if you got love for me and I got love for you, it's different. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is I learned not to judge people because of what he done. Especially when I reason with them and like I said, I talk to him and say, yo, but does that make sense? Like, why did you do that? Oh, my brother, or this happened to my friend, or whatever. They give me a reason why. And then I analyze it and say, okay, but if that didn't happen, would you have picked up a gun? Not really, but I don't know. Still, I'm like, but I'm saying, then I'll go into like say, okay, the fact that you don't even know if you would have or not, even though you come from the ghetto, if you would have or wouldn't have picked up the gun, the fact you don't know, then technically you can't really say you was a bad person to begin with. They're like, no, I wasn't really bad. And then they start realizing, I wasn't really bad. Then they start telling themselves, I wasn't really a bad person. But all these years now, because you've been doing so much violence, and so much murder, so much things, you ultimately say, I'm a bad man, I'm a killer, I'm a this, man, that. But no one's ever made you realize that you wasn't really bad before. But because I touched those things with them, some people look at me like, I like the way you talk to me. You make me feel like I'm somebody, not just it's not like a war machine. You make me feel like a man. You get what I'm saying to you? So I want to respect from a lot of people. This is why I dealt with them. Because like I said, I was working on myself. So I was working on people at the same time. And then it made them look at me and say, you know what? This guy is like, he's different. You get me? So I had the respect that some people didn't have.
When you first started carrying other people's money, did people try and test you in the beginning?
No. I'll be frank, I'll be honest, not even a boasting way, I never got tested for my money. No one never robbed me in prison. Ever. There's not, even though me and Yab would say they're being tested, I have never, and it's not me being boasting because there's nothing to boast about. I've never been tested in prison. If I lie on Jamaican people like that, I'll be a wicked guy. I was never tested for my money in prison. Never. When I had no money, the first 6 months, I was fighting non-stop because people were taking side against me and people were like trying to abuse me because I never had nothing and I wasn't having it. So I was fighting, like I said, I got cut my fist, my finger, and I wasn't having it. You get me? I was not taking it from nobody. But I learned to win a lot of respect from people because people started fighting regularly, like I said in the beginning. But no one's ever tried to, when I started getting money, no one ever tried to take my money from me. Never. I can't even say no one ever did. No one.
Do people sometimes come to you and say, look, I've been robbed by this guy, can you get my money back?
Yes, but no, I couldn't always get the money back from them. That's to be honest, I couldn't always get the money back from them.
Sometimes it goes places it isn't coming back from.
No, certain people I wouldn't even ask them back. You got some people in Jamaica that are crazy, like literally crazy. There's a guy in prison, I won't even call his name, but he would kill so many people and he also killed a prisoner and stab up warders. When he was killing people, he would always look up in the sky before he kills you. And they asked him, what are you looking in the sky for? He said he'd find a spot for you. Yeah. He was that.
Holy shit. I just got goosebumps.
He was that tapped his head. He would literally, like, I talked about my book, we were discussing with him one day about one guy. I said, yo, Louder Beef, like, because we know him as a good friend of ours, but he belongs to a crew called Now Live for Nothing, because they never come on road. They all got mad sentences. He's been there from he was like 15, never come on road. He's in his 30s, never come on road. He killed in there, innit? He's never come on road. And he's a killer from streets, because in Jamaica, so if you come from certain garrisons, some people kill when you're young. You understand? And a lot of people too. So he's been killing him. When he went there for something smart, like, I can't remember what he went there for, but he only got a couple of years, but now he's doing life without never coming out. So anyway, he's killing street is mad. So he's a man, he's a bit too far, he's a bit tapped. But he's a cool guy, but he's a bit tapped. Because he's like, we like to him, yo, don't do this, don't do that. He's like, we just say this guy like this. We're talking to him and he's like, so we're discussing here and he's like, you just look up in the sky and looking up and I'm talking to you, like, Sean, what you saying? He's like, you're just like, and your response is like, Yeah, man. Remember. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not here with us. So I'm like, bro, like, a lot of things that we looking at is like, find a place for him. I'm like, I'm going to my song. Like, I can't talk to you. You're tapped. You're not right in your head. So I just went and left everybody tried to talk to him because he's not right.
Yeah.
He's about a wild up in prison. He's a nutty little youth.
Wow.
Short guy. Anyone who's watching this knows when I say a short guy, nutty, I'd have to go no further.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows Jamaica prison can put the comments in and know who exactly I'm talking about. His name begins with D and it's done there.
Yeah.
Dangerous little youth. Crazy, but good guy, but he's just different. His mindset. You get me? So you had some real serials in Jamaica. But and again, he was a good youth to talk to. I mean, it was cool. But it's just that when some people really go, they go. But some people, there's not everybody, you could, if a man is violated, or a man wants to take something from somebody, you can help their situation. You get me? That's why a lot of foreigners would give me their money when they first get from prison abroad, they give me their money. So I'd hold it for them anyway. You get me? Because man never is, for whatever reason, not just because I knew a lot of people, no one ever tried to rob me. Nobody. And I would never lie and say anyone did. I never had that experience where a lot of foreigners had to pay money when they located people. I know how Tugger experience, I know what his experience is, but I know a lot of people, even Jamaicans, would have to pay money and a selling them thing. I never did none of that stuff. Never did none of that stuff. Never ever did none of that stuff.
Do they have the death penalty out there?
They had. It stopped. It stopped because the British don't want it no more. So yeah, a lot of people who were on death row are just there on death row. Which again, like I said, death row is right next to the remand block. It's only a wire fence separates us. I can actually touch you through death row. That's how tap this thing. It doesn't make sense.
Wow.
Your block and my block is separated by a wire fence. I can give you a cigarette. I can take a visit from you. I can give you a shank. You can give me a shank. It's literally just a wire fence between both of us.
Yeah.
It's nothing that separates us. Nothing really separates us. A wire fence.
What happens to sex offenders? Are they separated or did they get attacked?
No, they get attacked if you find out you're one of them. That's why most of them go for that cell I told you about.
Yeah.
They go to that block where the homosexual block, because they find out that's you're there for. You can get attacked for. You get killed for it, man.
They kill them.
Yeah, you can get killed.
Yeah.
But you get killed for anything in Jamaica prison, man. Like, it's crazy. You can be a real top killer, but you get killed as well. It's just a weird place. A weird place with crazy experiences. There's no stability in Jamaica prison. There is no stability. The whole place is a ticking time bomb every day. Every day, there's no stability. You never know when things gonna happen. Never know. Sometimes the tension can be so thick, like you can literally cut it with a knife. It's that thick. But it's a wild place, man. I wouldn't encourage no one to go there, man. It's crazy. I mean, if you go on YouTube right now, you see videos of people having parties in Jamaica prison. Literally, inmates having parties on the block. You know what I'm saying? And then you can know how you're getting these things in to have a party. Like, how do you have a party on a block? Like, Jamaica prison is that crazy. 2005, like I said, the evidence there, because there was many talks of guns in prison, and then the Jamaican prison was hiding it. But anyone types the internet, 2005 shooting in General Penitentiary, it'll come up. That's when I got transferred.
Wow.
Because it's there. It's guns, and it can be crazy in Jamaica prison.
What clothes did you leave the prison in? And did they take you straight to the airport? Like,
yeah,
deport
well,
you?
I had dual citizenship in it. I had Jamaican and British citizenship because I was always living in Jamaica. Innit? But I gave up that quick, boy. I want to go back to Britain. Hell no, I stay in Jamaica for. Because they said to me I could stay in Jamaica, but I'm like, no, I'm going back to Britain straight away.
You didn't have your red outfit on. You had something.
No, Jamaica don't have an outfit. You wear your clothes, your own clothes.
What clothes did you choose to go home in?
I don't remember, man. Jeez, I can't remember what I wore. I'd be lying if I told you I could. I don't remember. I just know I left that place happily, boy. I was glad to be leaving. It was crazy. But then the funny thing as well, when I left it, there was a point as well, not when I left the actual prison, the final time I left Tambourine Farm. When I left GP after the warden got shot. When I left there, I actually felt a bit sad as well. And I don't mean, not for the warden or nothing, it's mad because I wasn't institutionalized, but I was so comfortable with myself in that environment. As much as so much war was going around, I felt funny leaving.
Did you feel funny, like, I've been with all these people that I've bonded with because it's so intense?
Yeah.
And then now I'm not with them.
Yeah, then I got to leave. When I was leaving, I was dying to leave because the way the scenario happened was mad. Because after the warders got shot, they said that the rumor went around that the prisoners are going to kill every foreigner. So I'm on my block in my cell. Next minute, warders come on the cell. rushing and taking up all foreigners. I'm thinking, what's going on? So when they tell us what's happening, I'm like, it kicked to me. I thought foreigners get deported back to England because I know how prison run Jamaica runs. If it's coming from the top, every prison is going to happen in every prison. So I was hoping, that's going to happen. They got back to England. So I thought, why you don't let me out? So I was going mad to them to let me out of my cell. Told them I'm a foreigner. They didn't want to let me out. Again, like I said, they didn't want to let me out because they've always had that, just a thing about me and warders, me and police officers, just crazy. But anyway, I got out and I left with them. But at the same time I was leaving the prison, I felt funny leaving because in my mind, it's like, I just felt a connection to the place. And not that I was institutionalized at all because I wasn't following the terms like, I didn't like saying the terms like piss gal and that. I would say piss bottle. When nothing else, say my piss gal. You call a Walkman a wart gal. There's just funny terms that you use because they just prisons. It's crazy. It's just mad. But I felt funny when leaving. To be honest, I felt funny as leaving prison because it's like I felt connected to the environment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I felt connected to the environment, but I was dying to get out of the place, but I felt funny leaving. Do you get what I mean? But it's mad. It's
like you're bonded with it. It's so intense.
Yeah. It was that situation.
Crazy.
It's crazy. But prison, it's not. Man, I'll tell you, I don't wish prison on no one, but it saved my life. I'll be back to that. It saved my life because I'll tell you, if I didn't go to prison, I would be a dead man today, or I'd be in jail.
What was your release day?
My release day? What do you mean? Like what?
Like
day?
what approximately what time of the year did you get, and what year was it?
That was near to summertime. It was near summertime.
What year was it?
2006.
And what year did you go in?
I went to 98.
98 to 2006. I got out in 2007. Yeah, the world had changed a bit, hadn't it?
Oh, my whole era changed.
Yeah.
I came back to England, everything was changed. My kids, of course, were grown because they were babies when I left. My daughter was soon to go high school because she was 2 when I went in. She was soon to go high school. My son, the one used to saw outside, he was like 9. Then my estate didn't look the same. I didn't even go back to the same estate to live anyway, South Kilburn. I went to Harlesden to live in Church Road. Harlesden, Church Road, Harlesden, a lot of shootings been happening over there lately still. I went to Harlesden to live. And then that didn't look the same neither. Church Road looked different. Stormers looked different. Like the places looked different, man. I came out to this, like, what the hell am I, boy?
What about the internet?
That's what I'm saying to you. Well, that was different because when I went in, there was it was like the brick mobile, innit?
Dial-up Prodigy, all that stuff. I
come out and it's got these little flick phones and I'm like, what? You get in pages and all this thing. I'm like, this is different. Like everything is different.
Yeah.
Time just moved on and left me. You get what I'm saying? So it was just different. It was a different lifestyle. Completely.
What was your mindset on the flight home? And did you have like an armed escort or anything, like a guard?
Nah, I didn't because I was actually free in it. So I didn't. They just took me to the airport. I was free, but
you were free once you got to the airport, or did they put you on the plane?
No, I was free once I came out of prison.
Oh, once you came out of prison, you were free?
But it was the British High Commission sorted everything out for me. So I was free once I came out of prison.
Yeah.
The British High Commission sorted out me to get to the airport and everything else for me. Because
Right.
they said to me I could stay in Jamaica if I wanted to. I was like, hell no. Because again, not to go into details, but I had some problems while in prison. Like I said, I'm not going to act like I squeak clean there. I had some problems there, and I couldn't afford no trauma. I couldn't afford no problems, I mean, and to increase my traumas with anybody or any problems or any violence or anything. I just wanted to get the hell out of the country. And plus, the people I had problems with before, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to be on road in Jamaica. It wasn't a smart move.
So they took you from the gate to the airport?
Airport, yeah. Adios, Jamaica. I sat down for hours in the thing, and I was cool with that. I sat down for hours in the airport, and I was cool with that. They told me we couldn't get a straight flight because Pritchard was they were really good. We had a discussion, so we can get my flight out right now. And I said, don't worry about just getting me in that airport. I was sitting my ass down. I don't care. I sat down, but when I was on that plane, I said, I'm going back to England. Can't wait. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. I was like, yeah. Back in the UK, when I came to the UK, again, I showed them my letter of return. I didn't even wait for a passport. Nothing. I said, no, I'm opting to leave with the letter. When I came to the Heathrow Airport, they looked at me like, you got a letter, where's your passport? Like, I said, nah, I ain't got a passport. I just came back, lost my passport. Just blagged out with them. I said, listen, I got my kids on the way the other side. I ain't seen it for a while. Now I need to get back. But they knew something was right because you got a letter. So I was like, listen. Got out to my children, hugged them, and they was like, okay, like, don't we know you? Like, get me? But I'm like, that. built that bond back with them, built my life back. Like, shit, I was just dying to get back. Had a little party the day I got home.
What was the first food you ate?
I had a party the day I got home. Then like a little get together, everyone came around, everything, man. Jerk chicken, fried chicken, steamed fish, everything was there, man. It was a big munchie.
What did that feel like to eat all that food?
You know what? You know the first one I done, to be honest with you? It was crazy. I sat at my sister's house here. It felt amazing. But I said one of the most maddest things I done. The doorbell rang and someone opened the door. Someone came to our house. And when they went, I went back to the front door and I opened it. And I looked outside. I shut it. And I opened it and I walked out. And I came in. And I walked away and I went back and opened the door again and looked out. You know what? Mentally, I wanted to really tell myself, I opened this door. I have control of the door. That's what I was telling myself mentally.
Yeah.
But I didn't, just did it. And then I went to the toilet. A funny thing about I went to the toilet, and this is where I feel like I picked up a pre-habit. Because in prison, like I said, you can't sit, when you do have toilets outside, you still have to squat like you're squatting, like I say, squatting in the cell when you shit in the back. I did the same thing. I went to my sister's house. So I went, she got a toilet seat. I put a toilet seat down, and I went, still on it. And I went, what the fuck am I doing? And I got off it. And I went, what am I doing? I cleaned it, I wiped it, sprayed it, and I sat on it, and I went, and I sat down and thought, yeah, I'm shitting normal. The prison, isn't it? Because I was so used to standing on, because you can't sit on the toilet seat because you got to squat over it, like it's got in this plastic bag. It's dirty, innit? So I had the same mentality. I thought, but what the fuck? Cleaned it, man. And I sat down properly and thought, I'm actually taking a proper, normal, decent shit. Like, so in a way, I wasn't institutionalized, but certain actions became habitual. So I had to get that out of my system straight away. And that's why, like, I opened the door and realized I'm free now. Like, because the air smelled different. Everything just felt like, I mean, and I'm telling you, Jamaica air smells much cleaner than Britain. I'm being real with you, because it's sunshine and sea. But being in the air here, I knew I was away from all of that. It smelled like I was in heaven, bro. I'm telling you, it just felt free. Like, I'm away from all of this.
Have any habits you picked up in the prison kept with you?
I don't sleep much.
I don't sleep much.
I don't sleep much. Yeah. I think that's why I write so much. I write so much books and I do so much documentaries and things. I'll be out here. I don't sleep much. When I was in prison, I didn't really sleep much. I was meditating a lot. I stayed up a lot and meditate, because in the daytime I meditate a bit when we had fly up and that, and especially when lockdown, because I used to more like to meditate in lockdown, because fly up's a bit dangerous. Because if my eyes are closed, sitting down and if fly up, anyone can just walk your cell and yank you up in it. So I like to do it more when I was locked down. And that's why I like to fight. I like it by myself. And I couldn't have a single cell all the time, because only when I was in Spanish I had a single cell. When I went to GP, there was no way I was in a single cell. And then there's too many people, and just couldn't make it. Even if I paid, I couldn't make it. So I like to meditate at night time when everyone's sleeping, even though there'll be music playing, but this blocks are more quieter. So I can meditate and so when people are sleeping, I'll stay up. So I have a habit now of staying up at night time. I just can't help it. I just stay up a lot at night. So I don't sleep much at night.
What about when you go out socially, like pubs, places like that?
Yeah.
I found like I prefer to have my back against the wall. And
Not just have back against the wall.
Looking around.
I like to be separated from everybody.
Separate from everybody.
I'm that kind of
hyper vigilant.
Yeah. I'm always vigilant of people anyway. I'm just being I won't say I'm paranoid, but I'm just like, I'll be that kind of guy from before anyway. But I think I'm worse now. Yeah. Like I like to. I'm always looking here and there. If I'm talking to someone on the street, I'm like, "So I go on, bro? Yeah." It's just that kind of. It's those kind of habits that stay with you, though. You know what I mean? Just like, more about your awareness, isn't it? Like you're kind of just trying to be aware of your surroundings, which is not good, because really you should be totally relaxed. But I guess, you know, some things become a part of your everyday mechanism. Do you get what I mean? So,
do you ever worry that past enemies or relatives of people might catch up with you?
You know what? A maddest thing as well. When I did a book before this book here called "I'm a Gun," about gun violence and what goes on gun violence in the young community, and some guys who I had actually problems with said to me, "Bro, if you didn't change your life around, would I kill you already?" Wow. I've been to that more than once. Yeah. And I was doing security one time when I first got out of prison in Stratford Rex. The time Stratford Rex is shut down now. And I bucked guys who had problems, and I thought to myself, I'm a dead man. And you know, the guys actually said to me, "Oh, yeah, work now." And I said, "Yeah, bro, the real thing is," and they're like, And the guy said, "Yeah, man, you see, you think you can't skate your past?" And I said, "Nah, blood. God run things, you know." I was just talking like that, because I was talking to him Jamaican accent, you know. Because really, I was talking Jamaican accent. They're like to me, that you say, you think God can save you? And I said, and then, but I searched them. But I never searched them properly because I just want to get over done with conversation quick, move on because I'm searching them. I just want to get. So I want to my go and come back still. So I'm like, oh fuck. In my mind thinking you're gonna go away, come back, and you're gonna do something to me. And one of them they never come. He went there and came back to his car and come back and just went inside, researched him, went back inside. And every time you come and see me, he's like, oh, go on, you're good. I'm gonna say, yeah, man. And I just feel like I said, if you change your energy, you can change things the way people see you and perceive you. You get me? I've turned a lot of enemies into friends, and people might have had certain vice to me. I won't say like they're brethren of mine or they're good friends of me, but they don't. I've been lucky. I've been fortunate because I know people like myself who tried to turn their life around and people's actually, done their lights out, or they've gone through some madness. So I can say in that sense, I've been blessed because certain people who had problems with me, for both English and Jamaican, I've been pretty cool with them, to that point where, and plus I said that I have more traumas, a lot of traumas that are unclosed that I wouldn't let people know neither. So then again, you might have a problem with somebody and they don't know that you had a problem with them, so they don't know it's me, so they're not gonna come at me. Yeah. You get what I mean? So it works two ways. You get me? But those who do had problems with me and know it was me, we're good now. We're good. I won't say everybody because I will be honest with you, my family, I haven't gone back to Jamaica since I've come out of prison. I want to go back soon because I want to do youth work, especially when my book's coming out as well. I want to do youth work. But not all of my family are favour for me coming back. Some of my family don't want me to go back, to be honest. Some of my family don't mind me coming back. And some might say, "Me not busy to come back, blood car. We run the block here." And I'm like, well, what you're saying, like, that's not gonna help me. Because when you're saying that means you're telling me if I come back and problems happen, you're gonna defend. But I don't want that. I just don't want problems. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's a if and but, but for me personally, anybody watching this who knows me from the past, I'm not that same person. If people see what I'm trying to do in life, I'm trying to make better for a lot of people. And if you go on my website, they can see I've done a lot of good for people. Do you get me? And that's what I want to do.
When did it start with the young people after you got out? How many years into it did you start to help them?
You see, I could have started when I first came out of prison because I got people saying to me, that I was helping one or two people with problems, and I was talking to one or two people, but I said, nah, I wanted to show to myself that I could do things. And a lot of people come out of prison and just want to tell young people change your lives. But what have you shown to say that you've done it? So I just said to myself, I'm not doing nothing. So that's why I went to college first, got myself qualifications, show that, I can do things, I can really achieve something. Got a degree, started my own physio business in a boxing club. I was working with Stonebridge Boxing Club. Big up Stonebridge Boxing Club. Ali gave me a big chance to do some stuff in the beginning with him. I was doing stuff in the boxing club. And then and Ryan as well for his help in the sports industry, in the football industry. And it's only after I started to establish myself and doing certain things in the community that was really positive, then I decided to start really mentoring young people because they saw that I've came from prison, I've actually gone to college, I've gone to university, I've got a degree, I've made real changes, like I've made real sacrifice. I didn't just come out and just jump in a job, youth work job. There's no disrespect to anyone does it, but I didn't just come out of prison, jump in a youth work job and start making money and say, hey, young people, stop doing what you're doing. I actually went through the hardness of struggling, working a job and studying. And so really going through that process so people could see the transformation. That I'm not that guy. I don't want to do, because when I came out, I got offered street opportunities. I'll be real with you. I'm not gonna say what I got offered, but I got offered street opportunities. But that's not me. Especially you come out of prison, 8 years in Jamaica prison, and people in England heard and know, because like my book talks about one or two guys, and these are known guys in England. Especially where I live, North West London, they are known guys, and a lot of people came to prison, saw me in prison, and I looked after them in prison. So they saw the power and they saw the things I could do in prison and the capabilities I had. But, to come from Jamaica prison, to come back to England, for anybody, that's a big thing. You're in England now, you just an 8-year prison and you're strong and you're sturdy. People straight away think, just try growing on our side, innit? But I wasn't having it. I wasn't that kind of guy. I wanted to come out and I was determined to make that change. That transformation was real. I wasn't faking it. I wasn't pretending. I'm really want to be that guy in it. So I took that hard road. So I didn't want to come out and then so even when people said to me, mentor kids and they can get into it, I didn't want to get into it. I wanted to do something and show my transformation. Then now, the transformation scene, it's easier when I talk to young people. I can tell them that, listen, I went through this struggle to do what I'm doing. I'm making films, documentaries, I'm writing, but I'm self-funded. Even my documentaries, I fund myself. I will work 1, 2 or 3 different jobs, make the money that I need, and I'll travel with my little team and we do what I'm doing. So It's really showing more young people than telling young people, or even the older person is more showing than telling them. Say, make a change to your life. Be the example I want to be in it. Be the example I want to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what kind of feedback and results?
Man, I've got mad results, man. If you've got my website, you see, I've
What's your website called?
StephenGrahamProjects.com.
We'll put that in the link below the description box of this video if you guys want to watch that.
Yeah, StephenGrahamProjects.com. You'll see my documentaries there, my books there, my workshops. I've done mad changes. I've helped youths in North West London where I live. I've done a lot of stuff for young people with the local council, helping with young people. I'm not too big fan of the way the council do their things because they're very restricted. And I think young people need more time than they can afford to give us to work with young people. But I've done a lot of stuff to help young people. Workshops, recently working with an organisation right now that I've got 30 young people within the space of 2 months into employment and helping them look back their mind. Yes, I do a lot of stuff for young people. I do mentoring. I teach boxing, kickboxing for self to give young people more confidence. Do workshops. I actually run a youth project. I'm a lead facilitator in a youth project in South London. I do a lot of different things. And I do a lot of interaction and talking with my friends in Chicago as well when they got their problems over there, because Chicago is it's a mad place.
Hold on a sec. Let's explain this. So you actually go out to Chicago and mentor and speak to gang members in America.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Because I made a lot of documentaries on history and culture and on Black history and everything else. So a lot of the guys in Chicago see my documentary on YouTube and they're like, wow. Like my documentaries, when people say Black history documentaries, I think it's for everybody because like my mate, me and my mate does it together. My guy called Damien Ryan, he's an Irish guy. We work together in it. And for me, it's about educating everybody about history and culture. And, there's a misunderstanding between how people look at each other and perceive each other in life. And I want to break these walls down, these barriers down. I'm not for one specific people. I'm for educating and enlightening people on the whole, general people. I think the world can be a very ignorant place. So people don't really understand people. Rich people don't understand poor people. You get what I'm saying? It's just naturally wherever you go. We're not trying to race it out, even the way the society made in class systems. Some rich people don't understand poor people. Whether you're black or white, some rich people don't understand you. They can't start dig you. They think they're better than you. Then you got people who don't understand each other because of communities you come from. And you get what I'm saying? You got racist tendencies in different people, classes. My desire to break that down because I grew up in South Kilburn. Well, South Kilburn was a black and Irish community. You get me? And we got on really well. You get what I'm saying? I got a really lot of friends in the Irish community and even in the English community that, I'm talking white English, that they're pretty dudes. And I think you know a few of them still, not to mention names. But yeah, but I grew up in that kind of community where a lot of street guys and involved in the streets and a lot of crazy stuff happens. South Kilburn was known. Anyone knows South Kilburn back in the days knows there's a pretty few powerful families came out of South Kilburn. You know what I mean? Like street families. And I know I'm pretty close with all of them. We grew, like literally, we used to have point in my life, there was an Irish family living in my home. Because we're that close. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So yeah. My thing is about just educating people to knowledge of history, because not everyone knows each other. It's only because we sit down with each other, we understand each other, and we grow together. Do you get me? So we know each other's struggles and we know each other's go through, and then I can tell you about my history and my culture and my life, and you know me better, innit? But if you don't know me, you just go by what society projected or told you about me. Do you get what I mean? So ignorance is world's full of ignorant people. Sadly to say. But so yeah, so through my documentaries, I met a couple of guys from Chicago, and plus I got family out there as well. And they're not of the best of people, characters. They're still a bit of the street people themselves. And I met a guy from Chicago. He's like a really predominant figure in Chicago. So he's connected to the congressman in Chicago. And through them, I got my invite, and I went down to Chicago first time. And then I actually did an interview with the congressman in Chicago. So actually, the congressman, I sat down, interviewed like I'm talking to you. So you can find a clip of it on my Instagram, but the little short videos on my YouTube channel. And then they introduced me to some lead top gang guys over there, and who they're trying to make changes in Chicago gangs because they saw what I was doing over here, and they respect it until they introduced me to some people over there. And then, like I said, they carry yourself the right way. people who were at the top of the chain on the streets, reached out to me and said to me, "Hey, bro, come meet us." Some of the guys I was with, they're like, "Hell no, don't go meet them kind of people like this." I'm like, "I go meet them, man." So when I met them, and before I know it, I'm talking with some people who had some real good power in the place, and so I was able to reach out to other people. And then my mate who I was hanging with, Shorts, he's got a lot of connects as well. His cousin was his nephew. No, his cousin. He's like he's not his first cousin, but his family member is one of the latest rappers who just died in Chicago. So he's got a lot of connects as well. And me and him, we just been going around just talking to people. But he had his connects, and then I made my connects through the people that I met, and we started interviewing just a lot of different people, man. And then I started making documentaries in Chicago, and then I started doing talks and talking to people about gang violence and everything. Then until this COVID, I was actually supposed to go to. They actually want me to do schoolwork in Chicago. They wanted me to come to bring my youth programs into schools because I got a program. I haven't rolled it out yet, and they saw the new program. I made a 3D animated movie which I haven't released. 3D animated, it's like a GTI movie. It's a full-length movie based on my other book called I'm a Gun. Basically, we talk about gun violence because the book's written from a perspective of the gun telling the story of how the impact it gives on people psychologically. So I turned that into an animated movie and brought the book down to a seven-week workshop, which is something me and Andrew's talking about. Me and Andrew Pritchard, when he goes forward his business, of course I'm part of AP, we'll be doing out these crazy workshops that people will just be blown away.
Do you want to explain to the viewers what Andrew's mission is and what that's about?
Andrew's mission is to really help young people to really understand, because Andrew, he's had a very serious past life himself.
Yeah, if you want to watch our podcast with Andrew Pritchard, it's on the True Crime Podcast playlist.
Yeah, he's a really amazing guy, and he's really wants to do a lot for the young people himself. So we said, why not team up? We've got different companies, but at the same time, it's about partnering up together to do the great thing. There's no ego in it. It's about love for the young people. We care about young people sincerely. So we decided, we're partnering up. We're gonna do great works together in the future. So me, him, and a few others, we plan to partner up and really do some really powerful work for the youth. So with that being said, the Chicago, they want me to do the stuff. So me and Andrew was talking about that. We was talking about me getting out there and doing stuff, but he can support me in certain things, and we've got other things we plan to do. In other countries. Me and Andrew was talking about especially Jamaica, because we both got family in Jamaica. But it's like COVID came and hit everything in it. So I couldn't travel, couldn't do things in Chicago. So that kind of stopped everything for me going to do a test pilot for my workshops in schools. Because a lot of the programs I got in Chicago, with all respect, a lot of it didn't work, which one of the documentaries coming out soon, the guys talked about their program ain't working. So they wanted to try mine, because my approach and my whole approach is trauma-led. Because like I said, I don't judge the people for what they've done. It's looking at the traumas they've been through. As much as the violent they were or violent they were, is knowing that they were once a victim. And no one saw them when they was a victim. We only see now they're a person as violent. So it's like really looking at the unpeeling layers and going back. So I've got workshops based around that. And a lot of people in America, there's like, that's a really great the way your approach is. We want to try your workshop. So didn't work because of COVID, but hopefully, God willing, when everything maybe changes, we'll start. But then again, like I said, me and Andrew got a few things we want to do over here together. God willing, that will start soon. Again, we're coming out of COVID now, so hopefully things will start picking up. And yeah.
So I was in America for a long time, so I picked up all the slang. What about the Chicano gang slang? How'd you deal with that?
I didn't really do much with Chicanos them still, because it's more like the black and the Latinos.
Oh yeah, Chicago.
Chicago.
The black gangs and the Latino gangs.
Yeah.
So it's like Gangster Disciples, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, but that slang's still pretty heavy.
Yeah, Gangster Disciples. Yeah, Gangster Disciples.
Yeah.
GDs and Gangster Disciples, GDs and the BDs.
Yeah.
Chicago's like GDs, BDs, Peace Stones, Vice Lords, Full Console Hustlers. Yeah, I'm cool with quite a lot of them still. I got down with quite a lot of them. So like I said, I got one of my series of Chicago documentary on my YouTube channel, and the other two they'll be out soon. But hopefully they'll be out on Sky.
Wow!
I'm working with a TV station. The other two they're more serious. Like this, they got my mate's in one of the footage with his massive machine gun. He's got a Diamondback 50 just talking.
Holy shit!
Like the guys in Chicago's an open carry state, innit?
Yeah.
So everyone's like, guns is nothing. And if you got a friend, you can't get a license, but everyone's got a gun. Yeah. It's like Chicago's like, it's like getting a sweetie. Everyone's got one. It's easy. It's ridiculous.
And English people are shocked, but it's like just how it is out there. It's so different.
140 people got killed in 1 month. Yeah.
Wow.
104 people, and that's in one area. I'm talking about South Side. That's the South Side. I'm talking about West Side or nothing. I'm talking about South Side. That's a lot of people in 1 month. But then you get that kind of murders in Jamaica too. And Jamaica's even smaller, so you imagine. It's crazy. Like these places, like, you know, that's what I'm saying, the traumas they're going through. But when you look at what they've been through, and everyone, you know, in Chicago, like a lot of people, they take like they don't lean, and you know, the cough syrup, and you know, they're taking pills and they're popping pills. They always talk popping pills. They're on the E's. They're on the what's that one? They're on the PCP and
crystal meth, everything.
Liquid. And,
sure.
Everything, man. So it's they've been through a lot. Like the people understand, like, you know, people judge them, say, these guys are no good, they're worthless, this, that, but they don't understand the traumas they've been through. You know, and then what inspires them to do what they do, and sometimes it's generational. You've killed somebody for me, and you killed someone for me, and it goes down, and you know, it's really crazy. So, but it's about me. My own approach is to try to get people to realize that, you know, if we continue doing it, it's the way it's gonna go. Do you get what I mean? So that situation. So it's really about, you know, breaking down in Chicago, trying to work with the young people to realize who they are. That's what my aim is to do, you know, to really get them to understand themselves and, you know, show themselves some that self-love.
So on this channel, we're campaigning for the government to end the war on drugs and to take those resources and reopen the youth centres and give the kids stuff to do. What's your thoughts on London knife crime and county lines and all? How do we address this? Root causes.
Root causes, and I do a lot of that stuff. I do a workshop on knife crime. Even though we say knife crime is a buzzword, it's actually not really a knife that's a crime, it's a person. You get what I mean? But it's looking at the psychological, what's going on with these young people, why they're doing it. You know, like I said, Scotland. Look at Scotland, what Scotland done. Scotland had one of the most wickedest knife murders. Scotland's much worse than London back in the days.
Like Braveheart shit up there. Was it running battles? We had some of the guests on saying there's running battles on bridges all with knives.
Yeah, a lot of people talk, because I've done stuff in
Glasgow.
Scotland. I've done stuff in Scotland. I've gone to Scotland. I've got friends from Scotland. Like I said, I grew up in South Kilburn. Like South Kilburn was a lot of Scotch, Irish, black. Like that was the Scotland, and I've got friends from Scotland. They're not like their wars back in the days. They had enough stabbings. We just don't talk about it in London. London don't know a lot about Scotland. And we talk about London violence. No. London had nothing on Scotland back in the days. But what it is Scotland done a whole 360 turn on their whole system. They dealt with a trauma approach. They looked at what people were going through, and they thought about re-educating the nurses, re-educating, you know, the people who did social services, re-educating even the police. Anyone who's engaged with young people, engaged with people in poverty, and they looked at poverty scales as well, because poverty scales got a lot to do with it. So Scotland, one up to Scotland. You know, England should be taking a leaf from Scotland's book. Sorry, I'm going to be real when I say that.
Yeah.
Because England needs to take a leaf from Scotland's book. Because Scotland, they looked at all that aspect, and I'm not saying Scotland, you know, knife free now, but I'm saying it's not as bad as it used to be, because they dealt with they re-educate the people, how to address the young people on just the poverty, and especially just the mindset of the people who are going through the violence. You get what I'm saying? Like how to deal with them. Stop judging them for what they're doing, but not saying you forget about what they're doing, but look at it from a perspective that realize that these people are going through certain things, and if we can get to the root of their problems, we can change the way they're thinking, and then we change the way of their thinking, then you'll change the way that the next generation is going to think, and that's all they've done. And it's not, when I say that's all done, because it's a massive thing, it's a beautiful thing. But London, we know they know what to do, but sometimes I feel like, personally, I work with a lot of young people, and I feel like the money goes in the hands of the wrong people who are doing this to do stuff for young people. Because I've like, on my website you can find there's a housing called Catus Housing. They run housing estates all over England. They came to me one time ago, once about a couple of years ago. We built up this massive. We built up not even massive, just a little gym in Church Road Estate for the youth on Church Road. We got a lot. That's how Church Road is pretty known for a lot of violence right now. We got a lot of kids off the streets in the gym, and they pulled the plug on the funding. Why would you do that when things are going good? So again, you've got to ask yourself. It's like you can't make a project. You can't make a pact with the young people and take it away from them. I just feel like a lot of people, or people with the ability to do certain things, they're either giving the money to wrong people, or they're not sincerely committing wholeheartedly to it. And I feel like that's why my stem right now is to try and find people who could actually help me private funded, because I've got a lot of workshops I'd like to do, and I've got right set of people I'd like to work with. But again, I think if you go private sector, it might be better than actually try to go through government. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it seems the government's just hell-bent on making everything worse.
Yeah, well,
Let's close down all the youth centres. Let's increase the war on drugs. And let's just build more prisons and have more stops and searches.
it doesn't make sense.
And then you look at the financial aspect of it. These private prison contracts alone right now across America and UK, tens of billions a year.
Let's look at
Tens of billions a year they're making off this.
It's a business. It's a business. Let's look at it like this. As I was talking to young people recently, I go to them, listen, you don't think you're making money on the streets. You're making 20,000, 30,000 here, whatever. You're making 100 grand. I goes, bro, you get caught for prison for 100 grand. The amount of money your mum is paying to keep you in prison is a joke. He goes, we my mum. I said, yeah, your mum. I goes, your mum work? He goes, yeah. I goes, bro, taxpayer money keeps you in prison. You know that, right? So I goes, your mum's keeping you in prison. And he's like, what do you mean, bro? I said, bro, look, you're a cash cow. I said to him, listen, how much it costs for a person to go to prison for a year? He's like, I don't know, 20 grand. I goes, 20. I goes, bro, you're trying to, I goes, even if you got 100 grand on the streets, I goes, you're not making that anyway. But I goes, if you got 100 grand on the streets, think about it. You go to prison, I goes, that money, that might cover 1 year sentence. I goes, because sometimes you might pay between 80 to 100 something grand a year for a prisoner. He's like, what? I said, yeah. You said you didn't know. I said, bro, you got to realize that when you're in prison for 10 years, if you got 10 years, just say 10 years, forget about man getting life, 10 years, I goes, that's over. I goes, that's over $1 million. You know? You got to understand that. He's like, I said, bro, so I go, so who's winning from this crime? You or them? He's like, them innit? He thought for a second. I was like, so bro, so you realize that you're just playing games, that you're not winning. Because this is the thing, is a lot of people don't realize this street thing is a waste of time, bro. Like, you're not in a winning situation. These youths don't realize that what they're doing, they're not in a winning situation, because no matter what happens in the bigger picture, you're losing friends, you're losing time in jail, you're going to go to prison, and your family's going to be paying for you. Taxpayers' money. It's all madness. And then you got to look at the system as well. It's a game though, isn't it? It's a monopoly. Because we look at it like this. If a prison, the amount of money to keep a person in prison, like for instance, you got, say, me and you here, say we go back to street life. We never do, but we're on street life. The money that they give us, they put us in prison, both of us in prison for, that could send both of me and you to, just for you alone, could send both me and you to university and give us pocket money too. Does that make sense? Like,
the most expensive private independent schools cost less than sending someone to prison.
That's what I'm saying to you. So
that's insane.
Like, you could put
where's that money going? Because the prisons ain't getting it.
You could put me and you with that money for just one of us. They could send both me and you to a good school, great education, and even give us pocket money. And say, further, hey, Andrew, hold that for yourself. I'm saying that, Andrew, hold that, Sean, for yourself, and Steve, hold that, and we're good. So it's ridiculous. Like, it's a big money spinner, but we're not profiting, bro. Our families ain't
People
profiting.
are getting rich off it.
Yeah, our families ain't profiting. The average individual out there, his family, whether you're black or white in China, it's about race, it's about knowledge. We're not profiting. There's somebody up there who's profiting.
Totally.
We need to get out of this game. We need to get out of this rat race. It's a no-winner. You get
These
me?
private prisons, they want young people out doing crime. Maximize the profits.
Think about the traumas you're giving. Like, I can tell people, I got a workshop about trauma. I talk about trauma. I tell people, they talk about, not trauma, I talk about grooming. And the way grooming is linked to trauma. They're like, what do you mean? Because they don't talk about gang grooming, innit? This gang grooming is a new buzz. I'm like, oh, well, okay, gang grooming. I said, but when you're on TV every day and they're talking about knife crime, I said to them, it's cool talking about knife crime, but when you think about it, if I keep talking about knife crime all the time, and if you're an innocent child who's not into badness, and every minute you're hearing knife, what's going to happen? You're going to pick up a knife because you're scared.
Yeah.
So for me, through media, constantly doing that, you're actually traumatizing people as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So media can also be traumatizing a lot of kids. A lot of people realize that how the media can traumatize you. It can actually mess with your brain. So it's good having the internet, but at the same time, this World Wide Web can be very dangerous. And this TV, because if I'm even saying knife crime, and we're exposed to all the murders and the robberies and everything else all over the place, you just go on YouTube and type it in, you see this murder, that murder. You're only traumatizing the kids. Knife crime. It's when the hoodie phrase came out, when they said hoodies. Every time someone saw someone with a hoodie, they walk the other side of the road. Mm-hmm. You put a fear in people.
Yeah.
So as much as it's good to talk about something, if you're not explaining it properly, you're putting fear into people. So you're not actually helping the situation, you're making it worse.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that going on as well.
Stephen, you've taken us on an adventure today, like the intensity of what you went through. You put yourself in this situation, but you had the wherewithal to go inside yourself and turn your life around and be doing such important things that we've ended on this social mission. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the viewers who've sat with us for over 3 hours now.
Oh wow.
I've probably I've just been absolutely as gripped as I have, and time's gone that fast. But to the young people out there, Stephen, who've been inspired by your story today and may be involved in gangs and drugs and crime, what do you say to those young people?
I always tell them young people, just know to yourself that the risk versus reward, no matter how much you're making, it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth your sanity. It's not worth the financial gain you're going to get, the loss of friends, loved ones. Like, it doesn't make sense. You might make a bag of money even if you make a meal on the streets. The amount of people you're hurting to get that meal, it doesn't make sense. The risk versus reward just doesn't make sense. And worse, if you know whatever you're doing and a child grows up, you know, the worst thing is when a child grows up and a child admires you or likes you, but knowing that you messed up their mum or you messed up their father. It's a very nasty cycle. You get me? Like, leave it. And there's no winner, because you go to prison, like I said, you're not winning. The system wins all day long.
Just ends in the prison, police, death, mental hospital, one of those. Yeah. If you want way more details of Stephen's stories, brilliantly written, engaging, gripping, deserves the massive rating it's got on Amazon right now. If you want to get all those more details, I urge you to get his book, Incarceration, J.A., and the link will be below the description box for Amazon. And you've got your own YouTube channel?
Yeah. Stephen Graham Projects.
Okay, so the YouTube channel link will be down there. You said you're on Instagram?
Yep.
What
Stephen Graham Projects. Instagram, Twitter, I don't really use it much.
Twitter.
Yeah.
So if people want to message you?
Yeah, definitely. Anyone who message me, please do. Anyone who wants to work together, or willing to collaborate, I'm always open to work with anybody that wants to make changes. I'm dead serious about making changes, and that's what I want to do.
And would they be best to message you through one of the socials or through your website? Or
yeah, you can message me from my website or through Instagram. It's not a problem.
Right.
I always contact them back.
Yeah.
I'm all about changes, man. And anywhere in the country, doesn't bother me. Even out of the country, don't bother me. Anyone wants to do serious work and wants to make changes, I'm all for that.
Yeah. And again, huge thank you to Andrew Pritchard for hooking us up with Stephen today. He said he's got a mind-blowing story, and it is he was totally correct. Been watching Joe and James in here react to some of the stories today, especially the guy looking up at the sky and finding you a space. Finding you a space. I want to kill you.
Just some crazy guys in prison, bro.
Yeah.
Me, man.
So thanks to Joe and James coming all the way from Essex to film and do the audio today. Huge thank you to you, the viewers. Subscription logo is in the corner of the screen. And most of all, huge thank you to Stephen for coming out, sharing his story, bearing his soul. Give us a hug, big man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, well done, brother. Fantastic. Thanks. Yeah. Great work.